Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and you can check out the show. We'd love for you to do so. Just search at Tom and Dan Live. We broadcast Monday through Friday from about 10:30 till 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and we'd love for you to join us. Are you cold?
Yeah,
I'm
freaking
freezing. Yeah, I saw you rubbing your hands, and
Yeah.
I've got a sweatshirt on. I'm freezing.
Did you curse?
Did I?
I thought you said the F word.
Did I?
You may have said freaking.
I'm free. Oh yeah, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. No free will. I just reacted. I'm a pinball. I'll have to ask the chat room. Did I curse? I thought I said freaking.
You may have.
Or I said I'm freezing. I think I said I'm freezing.
Okay, all right. I thought you said effing freezing, and then I was like, oh, you did it right off the bat.
Oh, Andrea, my wife's in there. Thank God I have my conservator in there to tell you and everybody else.
Also,
Andrea's saying she would go back. All right. Less than a minute in, I'm already off to a bad start.
If you want to sign up to become a BDM, you go to tomandan.com. You'll see it on the right-hand side of the page. And if you are a BDM, you can be involved in BDM Appreciation Week, which is coming up here in April.
It is.
And that's when we do a party for BDMs only. We also put out a $5 BDM shirt for BDMs only.
I thought I thought we were shooting for a $1 or $2 shirt this year.
Well,
I'm going to be a little disappointed if it's still $5.
we can't get.
It's got to get lower. You
But
gotta
the shirt prices keep going up, so the fact that we're keeping it at $5.
Eggs keep going up.
Yeah.
Shirts are going down.
Yeah,
and I want American shirts. I don't want none of this China shirts.
There is no American shirts.
I want American shirts.
There is no American
either
anything.
Baker products in America or tough. I've been watching the news.
Anyway, let's do some Weird Job.
All right, buddy. Weird Job Wednesday on deck. Brand new song. Let's do it.
Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really liked it. Tom said that's bullshit.
Just another Weird Job Wednesday.
What are you doing? What is your job?
This is corny, right? I like it.
Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people that are working by the hour? Weird Job Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, baby.
This is like a sitcom intro.
Yeah. You're the dad. You're the dad. I'm the mom.
Oh, yes, it's
Wait, I'm the housekeeper. I'm out.
Job Wednesday. Just another week.
Oh, wait for your thank you.
Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Oh.
And then there's some old like black granny. They think, oh, zuka now. There you go. Little Weird Job Wednesday theme song. What do you think of that one?
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by modernpi.com. Get that 10% discount by saying Tom and Dan. On the line with us, we have Anthony. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing well, guys. Thank you. That was a banger intro.
Thank you. You know what? I did. I worked so hard on that.
So,
I'm going to start saying that. I'm going to start saying that. Do you know how hard it is to get, especially at like around 6:15 in the morning, do you know how hard it is to wrangle all the horn players into the studio and lay down some tasty riffs? It was so hard. And that one, normally I have like 12 horns. That one's only 8.
That's why you guys are the professionals.
Yes, sir.
So-
You know it.
Anthony, what is your job?
So I am currently a bowling center manager, but I just recently switched that job. I was a bowling pro shop operator for the majority of my life.
So wait, so you used to be the guy that sold the bowling balls and the accoutrement, and now you're the big cheese. You're the big pen.
Yeah, you could say that. I was a professional ball handler for about 14 years.
Hey, I like that. My mom was a professional organist.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, she played every organ but my dad's.
That's what I call it.
Hey, little bowling and organ jokes here. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
So, Anthony, you mind saying what bowling alley?
Yeah, so it's Sunshine Bowling Center here in DeLand, Florida.
Hell yeah, that is my home. And so we called it Sunshine Lanes. I have had many a wet finger.
Oh, come on.
In the
Why would you
sunshine.
say-
I can say that. I can
Why
say
would you
that.
say
In the
that?
Sunshine Lanes.
Because
You put your finger in the balls,
Okay.
Tom. What were you thinking about? That's the skating rink, you idiot.
So, Anthony, let's talk about first. Let's start with Pro Shop. So everything in the Pro Shop, it's like you buy. How do you buy a bowling ball? Step
you
one.
buy it with money. You go in there, you gotta get sized for one.
Yeah,
Ding dong.
like what pounds do you? Is it
No, it's
based
not pounds.
on your
we
own
use dollars here, sir. We use dollars here. You get the hell out of my country.
No, like how heavy of a ball do you know to use? Is it based on your own weight? What is it?
A little bit. That's where you kind of lean on the guy in the pro shop. You go in, you could say, I have absolutely no clue what I'm doing. And then through a couple of questions, I kind of go back and forth with people, figure out, kind of where they want to be. And then, we have a couple bowling balls there. I put it in their hands. We say, what are you comfortable with? There's a lot of factors that go into it. It's not kind of like just a walk-in and, an impulse kind of thing.
I want a
At least I never tried
rhino.
to make it that way.
I want a rhino, and I want those little rubber nibbies in the inside of the holes that feel good on my fingers.
We got plenty of nibbies. We can take
Thank
care of
you.
that for you.
This guy knows it. See, he knows what he's talking about.
So-
He knows about nibbies.
But is there like, say, I walk in there, like, are you gonna?
You look like a bowler, by the way. The way that you're.
What are we talking? 13 pounds? I could lift, Anthony.
Yeah. So, if you're comfortable with 13, that would be totally fine. I usually try to get people to go as heavy as they can handle without hurting themselves.
Hard
They're
and
usually going
heavy.
to knock down more pins that way.
Hard and heavy, hard to carry is what I'm saying.
Okay, so what's the advantage? Heavier the ball, the better your opportunity to knock down the
I
pins?
believe it's the bigger they are, the harder they fall, Tom, is what you're looking
As
for.
long as they're not blue. Typically, it's just physics. The heavier the bowling ball that you can handle to throw, the more energy you're going to have going through the pins, and the more opportunity you're going to have to strike. Doesn't always work out like that, but that's just the basicness of it.
So you're increasing your sweet pin action.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So what's the difference? So I get a 13 pound, 13
You're not
pounder.
going to roll a 13, are you? That's a girl's ball, baby.
That's a girl? No,
What the hell?
girls
What
have
is
a
13
10 and
pounder?
under.
13 pounder. What are we
Dude,
doing here?
I thought that was a heavy
Let
one.
me
When I
introduce.
bowl,
Have you ever met 16-pound Danny?
16
My wife
pounds?
throws 12 pounds, just so you know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I roll a full. 16 pounds what I use
Whoa.
for spares, but if I'm trying to get strikes, 26 pounder.
Well, give me the heaviest one you have.
Yeah.
What do you got?
16 is the heaviest. I traditionally recommend 15, but either is fine.
Okay. So now
I like to run like it's made for me. It's like a personalized ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm currently running about a 31-pound ball.
So what's the difference between brands of balls? I'm sure what's the most expensive?
Are you a hammer? Are you a rhino man? What do you like?
So I actually just recently signed with Hammer under that umbrella, so they are sponsoring me. Those are the bowling balls that I throw and stuff like that. But I've been with a multitude of other companies, and there are differences with the way that they're manufactured as far as their design intent. But as far as it's kind of like it's a Chevy versus a Ford versus a Toyota, you're going to have people that like their different brands and they're slightly different. But with the way the technology has come along these days, there's really not a bad bowling ball. There's just bowling balls that maybe don't match up to the person that they're looking for.
Let me correct you. I only roll American bowling balls, sir.
That is true. There are bowling balls that are not made in America. That does sway people quite a bit.
Yeah, you're not gonna find me. You're not gonna find me rolling.
Well, I thought everything was not made in America.
No,
What the hell
bowling
is
balls.
made?
Hammer.
What are they making in
Hammer is a USA product.
Milwaukee? Where are bowling balls made?
Detroit.
And so a lot of them are made in Salt Lake City, Brigham City, Utah, Michigan, and then some of them are designed in America and then produced in Mexico. So that's what he's referring to.
All right. I
There's
don't like
a Mexican bowling ball joke there. You're as useless as a Mexican bowling ball, boy.
How do you starve a Mexican bowling ball?
That's too far. That was a little too far for me. That made me uncomfortable.
So
It really didn't.
Anthony,
Yes.
so now what are we talking for a high-end 16-pounder these days, 2025
And
prices?
I want my name etched into it.
If you're getting the me price, you're getting full retail.
Show me full retail. I want to, full retail.
Full retail in our pro shop right now, you're looking at about $260 for the bowling ball with the drilling. And if you want any of the nubbies and any of the extra stuff, you're probably going to get out the door for a little under $300 for the top of the line, absolute best of the best.
That's not bad at all.
Do they eventually wear out? Like you only have so many throws before you need to shave them or something?
You
sand
gotta shave
them?
them. Shave your balls.
Shave my balls.
No,
He's
like,
been dying to say that. We'll be right back.
I mean, sand them or
Yeah.
like
You want to keep them smooth for sure.
Oh, my God, you guys.
without getting too complicated with it, yes. The bowling balls do wear out over time. They can still be thrown down the lane, but the performance starts to really, really drop off. It'd be like if you had a car and never changed the oil.
Yeah.
You can still drive it, but it's not going to drive as well as it did.
It's like
when you
my
first got it.
wife. I can still go down the lanes, but it's
come
just,
on.
doesn't feel it. Can't feel anything. It's
So let's switch over
like
to
walking in a vacuum.
the business of the whole bowling alley because I don't.
Yes.
Because you're the big cheese, man. You could kick people out of there. Do you get free hamburgers?
Not hamburgers, wings, though. Rachel's Wing Shack. That's where I get my hookup.
Hell yeah.
So I am familiar with bowling alleys. The Van family likes
You don't
to
like
go
to talk
bowling.
about this, right? You don't like to talk about
Hey,
this.
we
You out-trash me on this one because
we-
I'm the Walmart family, but you guys love bowling.
We've been bowling twice this month already.
My God.
We met Pudge up at Universal.
Oh, my God.
He was at Universal this past weekend, and we met
So
him.
instead of going to the theme parks, you went bowling?
No, he was staying at that Universal Resort. They have a bowling alley at the top. I will say, great atmosphere and table placement. Poor lanes. Like, they didn't wax their lanes. Me and the boys were like, the ball's not moving correctly.
Yeah.
Someone needs to wax
Well,
these
that's
lanes.
what happens when people get in it for the wrong reasons. You guys are true bowlers, right? Like the Vans.
Hey, the ball wasn't.
Yeah, you guys are like authentic. All this time you thought you were from Native Americans, and you're not. You're from a long line of fat bowlers.
And we went to the Colonial Bowl, Bull
Yeah.
Rock Bowl,
You're
3
one
weeks
step
ago.
above
Yeah,
darts.
yeah, in
You're one
Orlando,
step
yeah.
above darts.
We usually hit up a Loma Bowl. That's packed on Saturdays. Anyway,
Yeah.
so but
You
the
guys
point.
should get in a league.
So where's the money at?
Shoes. Money's in the shoes.
Is it in the concessions and the food?
Nachos.
Is it just in the actual bowling per hour? Because prices have gone up. I think the average price for a couple hours, a couple games is what now, Anthony?
It really depends. There's the privately owned bowling centers, which are going to come in a little bit cheaper, but then there's the more corporate-owned ones like Bolero and stuff like that, where they're charging quite a bit more. I would say a lot of the money is going to come in from the concessions. The bowling, you've got to get the people in the bowling center. You got to get them in there, and then you want them to spend their money in different things that you can kind of profit off of a little bit more. The bowling is what they're there for, so we got to get them to then want to be interested in everything else that we have to offer.
How long does a typical pair of bowling shoes last? Because I've always wondered, around about how many years, how many uses you get out of them.
Well, they do it in feet.
Yeah.
How many pairs of feet?
When I was selling bowling shoes, if I sold a basic end pair of bowling shoes to somebody, I told them they'd get, if they bowled a decent amount, a little over a year out of it, maybe 2 if they're really lucky. If you get a higher end pair of shoes and you take care of them, they can last, quite a few years if you're not. You're not bowling every single day. You can get quite a bit of use out of them.
Hold on, a little over a year. I was expecting you to say life.
Well, no, I think
If
he
I
means
bought a
like,
pair-
I think he means like if you're like a soccer player, like if you're playing in a league and playing all the time,
Okay.
you're probably going to need some,
Still, though-
maintenance to your shoes.
Yes, the soles wear out. They get smooth. The heels wear out. Things of that nature. If you're very heavy-footed, you can actually kind of start
Fat.
to split them just
That
a little
means if
bit.
you're fat, if you're a fat guy, you got to get the new shoes.
What about the rentals? How long do those last? It seems like
Well, those are, they put the big heels on them, right?
Yeah,
You got to clop those up.
they're pretty sturdy. I was like, these things have, got to be years in them.
So a little behind the scenes, those actually get replaced quite often. And because they're not yours, people will actually end up accepting something that's a little raggedy looking or split or something like that. But if you pay $50, $60, the first time you get a little scuff on it, people are upset with it. So they'll accept the fact that these shoes are functional a lot easier because they're not actually theirs. So that's kind of where that trade-off happens.
Does the spray you guys spray in the shoes do anything, or is that just water?
No, it gets rid of the foot fungus for sure.
Okay, I'm right. All right. That was a myth I had written down.
So what
Busted.
do you have your own in-house mechanics to fix the actual pin resetting machines?
Oh yeah, they are the heartbeat of the bowling center. Without them, I am not mechanically inclined whatsoever. So we would not be able to function without them. We have three mechanics, 2 full-time, 1 part-time, maintaining the machines, making sure everything is where it needs to be and functioning so everyone can have the best experience possible.
How often are you having to update the equipment? I mean, having 2 full mechanics full-time, that's a lot. So I'm assuming that because it's getting so much use, there's so many pieces in play
like
here.
moving parts.
Yeah. Like, so
Yes.
can you explain like what breaks the most, or what's sort of like what are these guys?
The most common
or is
problem?
this like are they running like an airline? Kind of like they're walking it and making sure everything's working all the time. Is it more like that?
Yeah, I will say that those machines are not my particular expertise. I know enough to get in trouble, essentially.
Right.
But basically, there are an incredible amount of moving parts, electrical and mechanical, in every single machine pin setter, that if one wire is slightly off or crossed, or one thing is rubbing in one direction, the machine is kind of built, as far as I understand it, to not want to like hurt itself. So if there is a problem, it's either going to start to slow down or not work or just shut itself off in layman's terms. So from the way I understand it, the constant maintenance is to make sure that all of those little tiny pieces are working properly. All the bigger motors and everything like that usually don't have too much of issues. It's all those little tiny pieces that could go wrong and cause a bigger issue.
Gotcha.
How often do you have to wax the lanes? Because I'm sure that people complain about
the lane things really bother me. didn't
dry
it?
lanes, and the ball spins differently, and then
It's really bothering him.
and then my kids start bitching. They're like, everything's going to the
I
left.
do love that your sons, the kids
And I'm
that
like-
notice nothing, will complain about the lanes not being waxed. That's true bowling boys. You should exploit. You should exploit the fact that your boys are bowling.
They're like, this is rigged, and I'm like, and I was like, is there a
This is
manager here? When's the last time these lanes have been waxed? Go ahead.
So obviously this is your guys' show, but I am going to correct you. It is not wax, it is oil. So we do oil the lanes every morning for our open play, and then once again at night for our league play.
It's like
so
telling somebody
every
Santa
day
Claus
except for
doesn't
Sunday.
exist.
Correct.
Every morning they are freshly oiled.
Yes, every morning for our open play except on Fridays, and then every night they are re-oiled again for our league bowlers.
God, I wish I was every night except for Fridays. Fridays is dry.
So what about like the birthday parties? Because I know I had a
You
bowling
can make
birthday
so
party.
much money on the birthday parties.
Yeah, that seems
2
like
cheese pizzas.
yeah. Like, is there good money and good margins in that?
Yeah, there's definitely a good amount of margins in there. It's all about the bowl, just getting them in there. So what we make technically off of the birthday package we're not trying to make, hand over fist on it. We're just trying to get kids in there with their parents, and then you make the money off the sodas and then the snacks and the popcorn and all the extra additionals. But yeah, the birthday parties do pretty well for us.
What's the worst thing or worst place in the bowling alley that someone has ever number two'd?
Oh man, I haven't been there long enough, but I would hope just the bathroom.
No, that's Sunshine Lanes, my friend.
It's been on the
Yeah,
floor.
oh my God, it's been everywhere.
In the return,
in the return.
conveyor belt.
I mean, like.
Yeah, that would be a disaster. Yeah.
There's a legend. There's a legend of a man that filled all 3 holes and rolled it down the lane.
How many rental balls do you have available at one time? Are we talking like
You mean the ones that I walk through and like I pick up all of them or carrying them around?
So if my math is correct, it's 24, I think, every other pair. So we're looking at like a little over 240 in the traditional side, and probably another 30 or so or 40 in the VIP. I might be slightly off on those numbers, but it's quite a bit to be able to get everyone done.
Whoa.
Yeah, Daniel hasn't been there since a kid.
I know.
Back in the 70s, they didn't have VIP.
Everyone
was smoking.
Yeah, when I was in there, I was smoking with Johnny Carson.
Yeah, our VIP section is very, 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 very popular with everybody for sure.
Oh, I know what that means.
So I'm curious, what kind of like insurance do you need? Because the last time we were bowling, my wife like tweaked her knee a little bit. And because it seems like no one knows what they're doing for the most part, and you're throwing a heavy ball, and I imagine there's a lot of people that blow their MCL out, what I'm saying? Or slip on the
Drop
oil.
a ball on their foot.
Yeah. Like, and I imagine as big insurers, they're looking at this and they're like, you got a bunch of drunk people throwing heavy balls, slipping all over the place. Like, we're going to charge you out the ass for insurance because it's going to be so crazy.
So, like I said, as far as I know, because I'm just newer to this side of it. If you've ever been to our bowling center, there is a screen that basically says "bowl at your own risk." And it kind of goes over like, you're opting into doing this, understanding that there is the possibility for injury. That kind of protects us from that kind of stuff. If there's anything that happens to the person while they're in our facility, obviously we have to take care of that. But if it's not directly our fault for negligence of any reason, then we're pretty much covered under any kind of insurance stuff, as far as I understand it.
Nah.
No, I love that.
And
And that's as you walk in, right? Like, do you guys still have the lobby? And when you walk in, there's like posted signs in the lobby area, right?
Yeah, there's that, and then when we send you down to a lane on your lane before you hit get started,
I gotcha.
there's a whole thing. Not now you not necessarily don't. Now everyone reads it, but it is there, so
Right.
you have to have it there.
Right. No, I understand.
do you have some sort of fun animations that pop up, especially like, let's say you get 3 strikes, you
Yeah.
get a turkey, and then you get spare. Like there used to be animations for every little, your 7-10 split.
I like a
banana.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of a bowling pin with sunglasses on, looking into the camera and saying, "Oh yeah," when you get a strike. I like that.
What do you got there, Anthony?
So those are actually going to be specific to certain scoring systems. Some scoring systems have more than others. Ours has the ability to do that, but I don't believe we have that function turned on.
Okay.
So you get a pretty straightforward experience when you come to see us.
Can I use the N-word as my name when I bowl? That's a pop quiz.
That,
yeah, you should've laughed. That was a test. That was a test. Yeah. Pull that audio. Cancel it.
So my sons are a big fan of the new technology of the being able to put your picture instead of your name.
You can put your picture?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
old
not
school
a
Danny.
No, old school Danny. I've never been bowling.
Yeah,
it's the only place you out trash me.
Yeah. Last time Daniel bowled, there's a dot matrix. Everything was
No,
green
it was a
and black.
pencil. It was a pencil and
Like
paper.
pencil paper.
Yeah, it was like golf.
So do
The
you
overhead projector.
Yeah.
do you have the picture technology built in there? My sons love it.
Yes, we have that in our VIP section. It's got an option where it's basically like a giant tablet. You take a picture of yourself, and that is the backdrop of your bowling screen, and you can take multiple, for every different player when it pops up. That's
Can you take a picture of your ding dong?
I mean,
That was the correct answer. That one you saved
They don't
yourself
have no software to block ding dongs
They don't,
or whatever,
They don't, and I'm wearing sweatpants in VIP.
How much tomfoolery do you get on like a general month where like I see these you see like America's Funniest Home Videos every once in a while, like someone will attempt to bowl, and for whatever reason their fingers will be stuck, and then the ball will get launched into the TVs.
The number one cause of that are Snyder's, honey mustard, and onion pretzel pieces.
Yeah.
And then it'll
Swells
knock
your
the
hands.
drop ceiling down or whatever.
It lands on some old lady's porta-scoot.
Yeah. Like, how many catastrophes do you deal with?
So just a small little background. I'm 30. I've been in a bowling center since I was 10 years old. I've physically, in my life, only seen someone throw through the roof one time. So thankfully, I don't see that very often. It hasn't happened a ton at our center. What will happen is a lot of times people will throw a bowling ball and the sweep will be down and they'll just bash the sweep. That happens daily. People will get a bowling ball stuck in the gutter, and then they'll think, oh, I'm just going to throw another bowling ball at it. And they don't realize that when the other bowling ball hits it, that one dead stops. You launch the one forward, and that one stays there. So we get that pretty often, but luckily, knock on wood, it's so far not a tremendous amount of stuff that can't be fixed pretty easily.
Let me ask you this, Anthony. And this is more of a personal opinion.
Do you need some sentimental music, or what do you need here?
So don't put your business hat on for this. Don't give me the generic business answer, because I know what that is. But let's
Speak from your heart. Is that what you're asking him to talk from? Talk from your heart.
Let's just say one of my sons, they can't get the ball. They roll a gutter ball, and then it stops, right? And let's say it's not 3/4 of the way. It's only a quarter of the way, and it's stopped in the gutter, right? And I could call an employee over and then
walk down you walk on the top.
Or I just walk.
Don't touch the oil.
I just walk on not on the actual lane, but I walk on the actual
that
top of the gutter.
part. Yeah.
That separates the lane.
Oh, unless they don't still have that. I don't know if it's been replaced with lasers now.
I walk over there, I pick up the bowling ball, I walk back, everything's good, I know what I'm doing, I save the employee's time.
You gotta leave now.
Or
You'll be asked to leave.
Or when you see someone do that, it makes you mad. You're like, sir, you're not allowed to-"
Please, the oil, the oil, sir.
Yeah. What do you think, Anthony?
I'm going to give you the Karen answer. Because of insurance, like we talked about prior, the liability of you stepping past the foul line is also a big issue for us. So, and just because you can do it doesn't mean the guy who's had a couple too many will see you do it and think he can do it, and then there's a bigger issue for us.
That's me.
So
he's talking about.
It's no
had a
issue
few
to
too
me.
many.
I'll run out there 100 times to correct an issue rather than having someone who shouldn't be out there do it. I have no
Gotcha.
problem doing that.
What's the dumbest thing you've seen someone do? Speaking of,
that's good.
like, have you ever seen someone try to walk down the actual lane and then do this?
I have one, and it was a kid, and the parents weren't paying attention,
Oh, no.
and the kid made it almost to the sweep. And not to get too graphic, but if that sweep hits that kid's not coming back. So that was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. Where
Oh, wait, if the
parents weren't
sweep
paying
sweeps
attention.
a child in, the child gets grounded? This is
What will it do?
awesome. Hold on.
Will it ground him up and
Oh
then
my
make him into
God.
pins?
Turn him into a bowling
ball.
ball. then he's a bowling ball slave.
Basically, what the pins come down on is called the table. So if that kid gets swept back and that gets dropped on them, it's very heavy. And if not, they might get their hand or something caught in something. It'd be just a horrible, horrible thing.
God.
But thank God the kid stopped. The mother yelled.
Would
and
you let us come to your bowling alley and throw a baby doll through your?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
You
then
can talk to our head mechanic about that.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
he'll let you do it, that's
I'll
his
give him a
machine.
case of old Milwaukee,
You know, and of all the time I've ever bowled, and this is true,
which is a lot.
I've never seen the machine make a mistake where they didn't put 10 pens. You know, it's like, oh, there's only 8 pens up. Like, you know, it's like,
I always have that. When I do these charity bowling things, my lane's always the dumb lane.
like I've seen it malfunction and just not operate, but I've never seen it actually put up a wrong number of pens. And I thought,
oh, you mean too many?
no, too little. You know what I'm saying? So is there some sort of like it just won't put anything but 10? How does that work?
No, so there is something where that can happen. Basically, there's a sensor that'll kind of tell the rack that there's enough pins in there. And if that sensor is malfunctioning, it won't drop down a full rack. Again, to my loose understanding, that is not my expertise. But yeah, if the sensor isn't triggered the right way and the pin isn't loaded into its position, it will still set it. The machine will think there's 10 there, but there might only be 8. It might only be 6. Sometimes the sensors malfunction. But that's a very rare thing, and that's an easy fix.
Have you ever had any famous people come to Sunshine Lanes or Sunshine Bowling Center?
Famous in the bowling world, yeah. Maybe not famous in the real big world.
Who
But,
you got? Give me some names here.
Greg the Split Johnson.
Yeah, what about the guy with the poofy hair? Who's that guy with the big hair?
Kyle Troop, that's exactly what I was going to mention. Kyle Troop bowled in our center
Kyle
2 years
Troop.
ago for one of our bigger tournaments. Yeah,
Have you
there's
seen this
a
guy?
lot of professionals. Huh?
Do you,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
let's say I'm there and I'm like
Look at this guy.
I'm 8 frames into a perfect game. Do you still do some sort of celebration?
You need that hair. You need the Kyle Troop hair. That's my favorite bowler. Kyle Troop.
Do they have a perm or what is that?
No, dog.
It's an afro. He's the best.
Yeah, this guy kills it.
But how does a white guy get an afro? Or
he
is
bowls. He bowls. He has that
Very
much.
talented.
Yeah, this guy's very talented.
Yeah, but it is genetics that. Anyway, so do you make a big deal out of a perfect game? How often does that actually happen?
That's a great question.
So in open play, if someone's got a 300, I'll announce it. Like I think it's cool if someone just off the street that I've never seen before bowls 300. I don't care if it doesn't technically count. I'll announce it. I think it's cool. In league, we also do announce it, and you do get awards for it in league. It just depends on the person. There's people that have a ton of them, and there's people that don't have any. So the reaction is different depending on kind of the skill level of the player. If you've seen someone bowl 100, it's not that exciting anymore. If you've seen someone bowl their first one and they're 75 and they never bowled one, I would think the center would go pretty crazy.
Have you done it before? Have you bowled a 300?
Yeah, a couple times.
Okay, so I think like it should be a prerequisite for your job.
To be a manager,
Yeah, I really do believe that. I think you should have to have a 300 game under your belt.
I think it helps understand the bowling side of the job for sure.
Have you
And how rare that is, or how not rare it is. Like, see, I don't even know. I'm not a bowler, but I think it's cool.
Have you ever seen just a random drunk dad who is not even spinning the ball, bowl a 300
yeah.
just by
He's just
pure
throwing
drunk
some
luck?
lazy balls down there.
No, it takes a lot more luck than that, unfortunately. Nothing like that, no.
All right. I've always thought, like, one time I bowled 2 strikes in a row for like 1 and 2 frames, and I started getting nervous. I was like, oh my God, what if I get a 300? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, do I tell the manager? Or do I, like, is there a
Yeah,
long?
I feel like you have to tell the manager.
Yeah. And then next ball, gutter ball. So I guess.
Okay, this is my last question, and it might cause a fight.
All right.
What is your opinion of gutter usage? What are your the bumpers? What is the age? Because Tom has been wrangling with this. He has been struggling with it. He complains about his sons using the
bumpers.
The bumpers, but then at the same time, he's like, well, what do they learn? Like, and you've been struggling
They
with
have
it.
fun with it, and without the bumpers,
Yeah.
I feel like they're not going to have fun and then get a distaste for bowling.
And this is a professional, so I feel like it would be very short-sighted of us to have a bowling professional on the line and not ask him his professional opinion of the age range for the bumpers. So, sir, please, Anthony, if you could weigh in, help Tom out.
I'll give you both sides of it. How's this?
Yeah.
I'll give you from the general manager side point, and
Great.
then standpoint, and then a bowler standpoint. From a general manager standpoint, I want you to have as much fun as possible. So if you guys want to use the bumpers and your kid's crying, by all means, use them. And if something happens, we'll take care of it. From a bowler standpoint, being someone who started on bumpers and then got off of them, you cannot get better by using them because you're using them as a crutch. So I always recommend, if you're trying to excel, try to really force yourself to practice and get a little better to where you don't rely on the bumpers as much. We're still going to throw it in the gutter. I throw it in the gutter. It doesn't go away completely. But if you can learn to control and get better, accuracy and things like that, eventually you don't need the bumpers, and then you're the coolest guy who goes bowling with your friends.
Okay, and then Tracy weighed in. She said she was talking to Crystal about the bumpers on Saturday. She said, quote, "It's going to suck when they go to a bowling birthday party and they can't bowl."
Yeah. I said that. All they're laughing at you, Adam Sandler.
I did not think about that. Okay, you can learn a lot from Adam Sandler. If he's a successful billionaire at this
Sloppy
point.
Joe, they're all going to laugh at you. Shampoo,
Fatty
you know
McGee,
where. So you got a good arcade there? How much does that pull in? What are we talking?
Yeah. We have a pretty solid arcade. It's kind of, we don't own the machines. We just have the spacing. So we're getting the best of it where we get the revenue of them paying us to be there.
What do you got
in
in there?
Pretty solid.
What are you running?
So we've got three of the huge, like, Mario Kart, like life-size Mario Kart racing.
Oh, I love those.
Those are fantastic. The kids are on there constantly. They'll run back and forth between that and the bowling while they're bowling. It's pretty fun. We've got Tomb Raider, like a huge Tomb Raider shooting game.
Cartoon,
we've got Justice League.
pixelated
We've got
boobs.
Minecraft. Minecraft's massive with the kids.
Oh, I bet.
Now, my kids only like the
What do they
ticket gambling games where they can earn enough tickets.
Well, they are your boy. They're your boys.
They spend $50 and buy,
a pencil.
I'm not even joking, 13 cents of straight Wuhan garbage.
Yeah, it stinks.
Do you have any of that?
Odor to it.
You got a wall of Wuhan.
No. We did away with the winning of prizes. These are all put your money in, enjoy the experience, and get out kind of stuff.
My son's
but you had it. But you had it.
Yeah, the
At one
wall
point,
of,
yes, before me.
the wall of Wuhan, and the
Is that what you've been
saddest.
calling us? That's fantastic.
The saddest employee ever is the guy who has to go to
It's a hard
individual
job.
kid and then have them just
you have to know the value of like these
I want
horrible
8 Jolly
tickets.
Ranchers.
Yeah,
We do not have enough.
Yeah.
him and Hall over small bits of Wuhan that they
And
want.
they normally end up giving it. Like if it's like 20 tickets and the kid has 14, just give him the Jolly Rancher.
It's
Get
a
it
one
back.
penny.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, Anthony, thanks so much for
were great,
telling us about
man.
your job.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. It was
Oh,
fantastic.
we appreciate you. You were super good, man. We appreciate you letting us
Thank you.
kind of peek into what you do every day. And I'm glad that,
Of course.
man, it does my heart good to know that Sunshine Bowling Center, or what I affectionately known was known to me as Sunshine Lanes, is still kicking ass, man.
What if we did something with you, Anthony? Did like
Ooh,
a
I'd
Tom
love
and Dan DeLand bowling meetup?
Yeah.
100%. I'm all for that.
Oh, that'd be fun. You want to do that?
Give us a little deal.
Could we rent the whole place out and do it, Club Wana style, a la late 90s, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the check clears, you can do whatever you
Hey,
want.
the check will clear. Trust me on that.
Yeah, we pay cash.
Yeah. Let's just say,
Hold on.
if you know Command Alive, it's going to be that kind of party.
Do you take Doge? I got a lot of that.
Yeah. How much Doge
that
will
went
you
back
take?
up.
How much Doge will you take?
Yeah. The whole Elon thing,
Yeah.
skyrocket Doge.
And my Hawk Tua coins in the trash.
Oh, goddamn hog tour.
All right, get out of here, Anthony. We love you, buddy.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, man. Be good. He was great.
What a young go-getter.
Yeah, that guy's killing it. He's like a young guy, and now he's managing his bowling center. And
started at 10. My son's 10.
You got to stop comparing. You got to stop.
You were doing something at 10?
He's
Oh my
working
God.
he's working at the pro shop.
All right, we will be right back. Welcome back to Corporate Time. So on Monday, we were talking about how I got a stump grinded.
Yeah. I'm proud of you. You actually called a company. I thought you were gonna just to for those that are new, and I know this it's not a lot of you, but if you're there, he normally would you get a listener, you try to do it yourself, read the internet. You and a buddy, you and a handyman, you and a pain pill addict, you and anybody you've seen.
Pain pill addicts are really good at work.
Yeah, they're good at dumping gasoline on a stump and burning it, and then you got an underground fire.
Sometimes they'll fall asleep in the subs,
It's fine.
but the other times they work really hard to get the money for the pain pills.
It's proven that the smell of bread will make you sleepy. I believe that.
Anyway, but I hired a company. I grinded the stump up crazy, and then I had maybe 15 wheelbarrows full of mulch.
Of trash.
It's not really trash. It's organic.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's good for your lawn. It's
Yeah.
It's good.
You sound like a lady trying to get me to eat the placenta. It's like it's natural. It's natural. Eat the placenta.
And then I asked my neighbor if I could spread it in her backyard. She said, "Yeah, no problem." And then
can I spread this trash? It
was more than I thought.
Rather than clean up my trash stuff and put it in my truck and drive it to the dump or where I should dispose of it, do you mind if I scatter my trash in your backyard?
Do you understand how hard it would have been to get 12 wheelbarrows filled with mulch, and then
well, that's
wheelbarrow
why you have
to the front?
The stump company, you have them build that in.
No,
you pay $1,000. You pay $1,000. Well, hey, you get what you pay for. Sometimes you get.
I was already at $575. I was like, "Oh, you're only here an hour. That's a lot." I know this. You're paying for the equipment, but
you're
I know.
driving the chat room crazy with wheelbarrow.
What?
What? Because you're calling it a wheelbarrow, a wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow?
Yeah, it's a wheeled barrel. Wheelbarrow.
Okay, just stop saying it.
Anyway, show the goddamn picture.
Okay, so here's the picture.
You requested a picture.
Yeah, so we requested a picture. Actually, namely, I'm going to give him.
It's not even that bad. I think it was not as bad as I described it.
So here's
when I
picture,
looked at the picture.
Here's a picture of the trash. You call it mulch. That you spread in your neighbor's backyard. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. There it is.
See, it's
so
a little longer.
All of her grass. There's no more grass. Dead grass. It is literally now.
There was grass there.
Now there is a brown-black stain of, and then where nothing will grow there. So now it looks like the inside of Satan's heart.
No. So it is a little.
There's nothing there.
It's a little wider than the stereotypical mulch.
Yeah, you brought it out a little bit. You brought out the circle a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I started.
What is this called? What is this style called?
I started with trying to hide it under the bush.
Okay.
And then after
finally, hold on a second.
8 or 9
Did you take sodium pentothal? Like, why are you telling me the truth now?
After 8 or 9 wheelbarrows full, that he got so high that I was like, I have to.
You freaked out, didn't you? You didn't know what to do.
I have to rake it out back a little bit, and then it started getting more and more back, and then I was like, this is the. Usually
so you just started putting mulch anywhere you could. You're like, we got too much.
And then I was like, well, I can't put this is behind.
Okay, some compliments. Fascinio in the chat room.
All right.
Twitch.tv/Tom.
I knew I liked Fascinio.
Fascinio says it's nicely leveled.
Okay, yeah. Well, now, from this angle, you can't, it does ramp up like Evel Knievel's landing ramp.
Now, did you pile it up high so you could walk over the fence? Because that would be kind of cool.
It's not level to the bushes. It's like, think of it as like maybe 2 feet tall at the bush level, and then it just ramps back.
Now, I'm zeroing in a little bit on the mulch so everybody can see it. I just want to, so we can see the tip. I don't think I've ever purchased a lot of mulch with my father.
that's dark
I've never
oak.
seen
That's cocoa brown.
I've never seen cocoa brown mulch. Oh, this is cocoa brown.
Yeah. Well,
Is that what it would be called?
The problem is
Cocoa brown.
It's majority soil, so
Right,
with
right.
chunks of mulch
Yeah,
in there,
yeah.
and then it all got dyed black. So it's
Yeah.
really just blacky.
So it's like a magician's beard.
Yeah.
Don't say blackie, please. That's not. You're out of your mind.
Yeah, but the important thing, this is behind
The chat room just saying it's dirt. It's you piled dirt in her backyard is what they're saying.
this
I'm going to
is-
turn the picture off. So
and this is behind the bush. So now that's where
has she seen it yet? This is what I
Don't
would ask.
know.
Let's move on. Has she seen it yet?
don't know. I'll never
Okay,
ask.
all
I'll
right.
never ask.
Okay.
Because
Has Crystal seen it?
no,
Okay,
she,
don't show her.
I don't involve her
Yeah,
anymore.
she's
or
not going to
nothing.
like that. Yeah. Have the boys seen it?
No,
Oblivious.
they have
No,
never been
yeah.
outside the house.
So I'm really the
no
only
one
one
knows
that
who's
knows.
back there. Yeah.
So me and the listeners.
Yeah, you and the listeners. Yeah.
Well, I think you're good then.
So now the one that what got me to pause is as I was doing this, I did ask myself, I was like, is there a reason why you're hiding it behind this bush?
Yeah.
Like,
Because it would seem like you mean subconsciously, you're
Yes.
like with no free will,
Yes.
you are just
I tend to pile it behind the bush
Yeah,
just
yeah.
so that no one would see it. So I
just
was
because
like,
naturally humans, if they have something to pile, they're going to pile it naturally behind a bush. Is this what you're arguing?
well, I told myself I'm doing her a favor because I'm
well, that's what
free
psychos
mulch.
do, right? Yeah, psychos will say things like that. Like, I'm the hero here, even though I'm destroying your backyard.
It's like No Country when the bullhead guy
Yes.
gave the guy who worked at the gas station heads or tails.
Yeah.
It was his choice.
Yeah, it was his
so
choice.
if he got the bolt, he called it wrong. Anyway, so
That's the new movie, folks, if you're keeping track.
I did ask if there was a reason why subconsciously I was piling it behind the bush. And
Who'd you ask? God? Yourself? What do you ask?
Well, I had to wrestle with that in my head.
Yeah.
It's like, am I just a bad person?
Oh, yeah, that was your answer. That was your answer. What were you trying to say?
To
You were trying to
swallow
swallow the truth. You were swallowing the truth and you choked on it.
Push that down.
Yeah. I gotta get
so
another lie out here.
So I was just like, did I falsely represent my intention of mulching? Like, hey, I'll
Yeah.
spread this in your backyard.
Chat room can vote.
Just to
I'll let
dump-
the chat room vote what they
I should
think.
have said, if I was completely
Yeah.
honest, I should have said, hey, I'm going to dump this all in your backyard behind this bush so you can't see it. And I don't know, it's like,
Yeah.
not really what a professional mulching company, would do.
Yeah, it's still not really mulch, but we're going with it. We're way down the line on
Yeah.
mulch.
So what is
All
the
right.
chat room?
Well, most people are
they're siding with me. I knew it. They say, they're like, not this.
Okay,
not
here's
that
the
bad.
first comment.
I'm like you.
Our friend Sarah says the sheer amount of time he spends thinking about himself is the first comment.
What? I'm not thinking about myself here. I'm thinking about where to put this
Most
mulch.
people, yeah, Ghost is with you. He says true Tom Van supporters will never turn their back on Tom.
It's all right.
And
thank
neither
you.
will I. Not a bad person. He said in caps. I like that. All right, so you're not bad.
Yeah, all
So
right.
what else do you have to do in your backyard? You got this stump gone. So what is the plan here?
Oh, now-
because I thought you weren't doing a sauna and you were not doing a gym. You talked yourself out of that.
Well, now I'm just planting some palm trees and some other plants along the side of my fence so I could have a wall of green. And now I got it. Okay, you like this.
Okay.
So I've been looking at Facebook Marketplace for unique
That's
exotic
the first problem you have.
palms.
You gotta buy it new.
Like,
Get it new.
no. Like, well, it's a tree.
Yeah,
it's
but
all.
it's gonna
there's
be
no-
diseased.
It's new in a year after you get it. It's
All
it's
right.
always new.
What are you trying to get?
Well, I'm thinking about getting a wall of different exotic palms.
All right.
So that when people come over to my house, like you, for the barbecues to watch football,
You give us like a little tour.
Yeah, it could be like, hey, this is a princess palm.
You gotta have little signs
This is
on
a
them.
traveler.
Yeah, I like a little sign.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for that.
Get a little, yeah.
Yeah, I'll help you with that part.
Now, there's this one palm I've always wanted. It's called lipstick palm.
Lipstick palm.
Yeah. It's
I've heard of that.
found in Thailand. And
It's like a razor blade show.
problem is it'll die in the cold, so I can't plant it. But there's
Wow, we don't get cold that often. We're out of it. We're done.
yeah, but every year they're like super expensive.
You can't put like a blanket on it or something, or a heater, or
I could build like a miniature greenhouse, I guess.
around it.
and like in PVC pipe and just like stick
I mean,
it over.
it'll give you a new weird trash project to mess up your backyard.
Yeah, they're like $300.
Let's do it. Let's steal one.
And they're super rare. They're red, like bright red.
Oh,
That's
that's
why they
cool.
call lipstick palms.
Never seen one.
Yeah. Then there's some other.
All right,
I don't
we'll put
like
it out there. If you're in the market, like if you got a lipstick palm, we want one.
And you know what I like? I don't like any sort of date palms. Stink. You stink, date.
Why do date palms stink?
They're all spiky and not as tropical.
Okay.
I like what's on like some sort of exotic beach in Thailand.
Yeah, you don't like the normos. All right, this is out of my world, but I'm trying to go with it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. All right.
Date palms. You heard him. You heard the man.
We'll see you tomorrow. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on YouTube and on Twitch. We'd love for you to join us. Just search at Tom and Dan Live. Like and subscribe, please.
Should we just go right into it?
I say we should. Give this man his full time, right?
Because right off the bat, I have a complaint.
No, I know you. Yeah, let's do it. Here we go. Here we go.
Nerds. 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 Jock. Nerd. Jock. Nerd.
It's Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I'm gonna give you a
Oh,
blast.
it's working.
Yeah,
That's
you get a
great.
blast. It picks and chooses.
Yeah.
When it decides.
Sometimes
to
you have a
work.
comedian here and just craps out on
Yeah,
you.
well, normally, it's
Yeah.
like maybe it's got a mind of its own. When it
Maybe.
works, it means that you
It's
are
got
in
that
good.
Chinese AI in
Yeah,
it. Probably
you are
now.
in good favor.
Okay, good.
Yeah, what's that blue whale, blue something?
Is Blue Search or something
Blue,
like
yeah,
that?
blue deep.
I know what a blue whale is.
That's
sorry.
Blue Waffle.
And he's
stop.
sitting.
What are you doing?
He's sitting in front of me.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Big Fat Geek Squad.
Get your complaint out of the way. Hurry up.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
All right, EJ is here
Yeah.
for Nerd Jock, but Tom has a complaint. Go.
So at 11:50 a.m. this morning,
I waited till you were off the air. I waited till you were at it, doing with your segment.
I get a text from EJ, and it says this: "Will you look up the Super Bowl prop bets?" ? I can't because because my work computer won't let me, and I don't want it on my phone. Okay, so
Wait, you don't want it on your phone?
okay.
I don't want to download the app for like Hard Rock Bets or whatever.
Oh,
or
you're
MGM.
too-
I don't
like-
want to do that because I don't want it on my phone because I
I'm
know
too
how I
afraid.
am. I will bet like crazy.
Tom, wake up in the middle of the night.
We've already explained this last year when I did my bet in Tampa.
I gave away my house. No, you won't. Just
Yeah.
do it.
But
No. You're just saying that to make yourself seem special.
But you know that if you just search in Google,
I did.
and
Yeah.
then say,
I couldn't find any.
Yeah,
That's
that
why I
means
asked
they're not
you.
out.
He
I,
didn't want it on his
I
phone.
went to the expert,
you
and this
think-
is how you're going to treat me.
Am I supposed to?
I was actually proliferating that you're saying that you know the more than I do.
He
at
doesn't
this.
know what proliferation means. Number one. Number two, I do like that you asked Tom to do your job.
I am mad.
No,
like
that's
that.
not why I'm mad. I'm
No, no,
mad
no.
because
I
he doesn't
like that he did.
understand how Google works. It knows everything.
Everything.
It knows more than any human ever will know. It knows it all. There is no question
but
that
you-
cannot
Google
answer.
takes me right to the websites to download the apps, and I don't want that. I
you need
figured
to-
you already had the stuff.
You need to know that, though. EJ needs to know that in order to utilize it. And he doesn't know that.
Yeah, but if you just ask what the prop bets are, it just lists it. It doesn't need. You don't need to go on any of the apps. It knows everything.
So is all of this to tell me that we don't have the prop bets because EJ couldn't find them and didn't want it on his phone?
It's to tell EJ and anybody else listening, quit asking humans a question.
Just Google it. You're back to Googling it.
Yeah, like the computer knows more than any one human.
Okay.
The humans know nothing anymore. It's all your phone. Your phone knows everything.
Gotcha.
And
Do you want me to look them up real fast?
Yeah, but you
They-
did.
they-
Okay, let me explain the reason why I went with you.
don't
Okay, I'm
exist yet.
use you as an example. You did stump grinding and it cost you $550,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you'd have called me, I'd have told you could rent the machine for like $100, and you could have done it yourself. And it's so easy to do. I've done it multiple times, and you could have saved yourself $500.
I'm super mad now.
I can see it. I can see it
If you'd
happening.
have called me, I'd have
Yeah,
said,
I can
would,
see it happening.
I would even do
think
it for you.
Do you think?
Oh my God!
Do you
Two
think I don't?
Castleberry rednecks arguing over stump grinding
We're
prices.
gonna put our fence on wrong
I
like we did
love it.
last time.
I don't need to call you to know that they rent stump grinding machines. I will go to my phone.
Then why did you do that? You could have rented it and did it
I
yourself.
knew that they rent stump grinding machines. I do not want to spend the entire weekend with a cheapo stump grinding machine. I
Yeah.
want to hire a company with a $100,000 stump grinding
then
machine
spread the mulch at
to
my
do it in
neighbor's
an
yard.
hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the stump grinding machines are pieces of crap
Oh, they
at
are crap,
Lowe's,
yeah.
and I'll be there.
Don't backpedal on your argument.
But
You
I
gotta
did- I
hold
did do
strong.
it, and
I'm
there was no problem.
like vibrating my hands till numb to
Right,
crazy fire, and then not doing even a tenth of a good job as a $100,000 machine can with a $500
Okay,
company.
but did we
But
get
I
the
thought you
prop
could do
bets?
it.
Where are we at with the prop
They don't
bets?
exist yet.
They're not available yet.
Oh,
And that's the
no.
reason why I couldn't find them. But I was asking because he said Google knows everything. It didn't know where the prop bets were because there are none. So there, it didn't tell me they're not available yet.
No.
It didn't tell me they weren't available yet. It just didn't have any.
Well, you have to put some context clue.
I
You have to
did.
follow
All it
clues
did is
and
go-
read a little bit.
All
It's
it did
not-
is send me to MGM Bets or Caesars Bets or whatever, and it just told me how to download the app. It wouldn't say there's no prop bets yet.
There are prop bets, but they're all side and total stuff.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
generic garbage
Right.
that they all put out for everything.
When will we get those?
See, I want
Probably at the
About a
end.
week.
They'll start eking them out at the end of this week. The real interesting ones come out next week.
Gotcha.
Usually,
Okay.
Usually this weekend.
The player
Yeah.
prop bets come out next week or this weekend for the Super Bowl. They try to come out as early as possible, but
Got to give you some love. Chat room's agreeing with you today. Yeah, they kind of
well,
had it.
right, that's
No,
why
they've
they're
kind of had it. Normally they give you but normally they give you a lot of a stick.
Yeah.
But today they are done with EJ right now. Wow, they're mad at you.
Also, the fact that you won't download the damn
The app, the betting app.
Hard Rock
Right.
Sportsbook.
I have it. I have it on my phone.
Because you have no self-control irritates me as well too. Like, just put $50 on there and then don't put any more money when that's gone. Then
can't
have
do
the
that.
self-control.
Can't do that.
Yeah, okay.
It's
That-
already linked to my credit card, and it would just keep going.
But
when
you
I
have
go.
the self-control
Yeah.
not to download the app.
Yeah. I don't start. If I start,
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
Yeah.
But if
I
I,
don't
go,
know, man.
yeah,
But also, you're gonna drive to Tampa to put down.
it's on the
bets.
way to my in-laws' house. That's the reason why.
Yeah, he's living
So-
wild.
So much
I'm
about
doing what
this.
you do all the time. You're telling me I'm doing it wrong.
This is nothing what I did.
I
I
guarantee the
love
chat
that
room
laugh.
will agree with me
I
on
love that
that.
Dracula laugh.
Yeah. I'm not downloading or something because I don't have the self-control. I have complete control.
Okay. All right.
I want
Okay,
to
Mr.
do
Orb.
everything
okay.
that I like. Listen, I probably do a lot of things that I look back and I should have done that, but that doesn't mean I have no control. It means I wanted to do it at the time.
Okay. So like the mulch.
You guys are both insane, and I'm just sitting here watching this happen, and it is blanking awesome. I love it.
Let's get to
Yeah,
it.
all
Okay.
right.
Well,
Look,
that was the only reason I was going to look for prop bets because I wanted to do something. I
Well,
wanted
I
to say
know
how
you were
many
going to look
times
for prop bets.
they
I
were
know
gonna
that
do-
because you asked Tom to do
I
it
know.
for you because you're lazy. I'm surprised you didn't ask me to do it, but you know I'll yell at
Yeah,
you.
you'll yell at me.
Yeah,
That's
you
fine.
know I'll yell at you. You
This
know-
is gambling,
and
so I knew Tom would be the,
he won't yell at
expert
you.
on it.
You
I went
know
to
he
the
won't yell at
expert.
you.
Yeah.
He'll just not answer you.
Let's talk about who you like because I want to bet against you. Because you think like every
Okay, they're going to bet on the
dad
Chiefs
out there.
then. I'll get it out of the way. It's 1.5 points right now, right?
Yeah, you want to take the Chiefs? I knew it. You want the Saquon Barkley overs? That's my it's not out yet, but
Yeah.
Who does America want to win?
Neither team usually.
that's interesting. I think that the average person probably looks at the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift, the whole thing,
Yeah.
them three-peating,
Yeah.
and then wants the Chiefs to win. The Cinderella story, the thing
First
that's
ever
never been
three-peat,
done.
yeah.
Oddly, in the
I'm gonna have to
Atlanta
pay Pat Riley.
Falcons, in my Atlanta Falcons Reddit group, oddly enough, they did put up a poll, and thousands of people answered. And who do you think they chose? Atlanta Falcons fans. Who do you think they
Ooh.
chose?
I think
Well,
they
Probably the Chiefs
football-
because they don't like the Eagles in their conference.
They
NFC.
picked the Eagles.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
By
It-
like 70%.
Because
I
they're
picked the
sticking
Chiefs.
with the-
I personally would rather the Chiefs win. I have no weird allegiance to either of them. I just like the story better.
I think football fans kind of would just don't want the Chiefs to
Yeah,
get the
I
three.
kind of want the Eagles to win
And-
because
So there's
Saquon
something-
Barkley being on the Eagles this year and doing so well. That's a better story for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The numbers aren't out yet, but I'll throw this out there.
Please.
I think my favorite bet of the Super Bowl, besides from all the prop bets,
Under over tush push.
No.
I think
I
know
want
you,
that.
You told me this when it's the
I'm gonna-
under on Saquon, right?
I'm gonna wait till game time and then take the under and Saquon Barkley. It's the most boring unfun bet there is.
But he went insane last game,
Yeah.
so it does make sense.
And I think America's going to bet his total up to
They
something
love him. Oh, they
egregious.
love him
Crazy,
so
yeah.
much.
It's 118 that I heard some podcast talk
118
about.
yards.
Even though that it may be on some FanDuel or whatever, but I think it probably gets to like 125 or maybe even more.
Ooh,
Who
I don't
knows?
know if I'd take the under on that.
You know, it starts getting crazy because they'll just move it or they'd be juiced up like crazy. So even at 118, you have to take the under. And you could be wrong and lose that, but like that would be the smart.
Well, it
bet.
would be fun though, right? Because let's get back to why you're even betting in the first place, right? To feel inside.
You're betting to win.
Yeah.
It's more because I'm not really interested in the game as much.
You know,
'Cause I don't
we
have
got a
any
couple people in the chat
stake
room
in it.
saying that. Sourdough in the chat room says, not even watching the game. See, I think
I
that's
can't not do
crazy. I'm
that,
not one of
though.
those
Yeah.
guys. I got to watch it. You know, like even if it's a team I hate,
Hey,
I'll
if it
be
was
there.
the Patriots, I watched it every year the Patriots
last
were in
night,
it.
the Heat and Magic went into double
overtime,
I was
yeah.
struggling. I'm wearing my Magic gear today.
Even without Jimmy Butler, that's suspended for like the third
I
time.
like Jimmy Butler,
indefinitely.
too. I like Butler. but-
Well, let's talk about the entertainment because I can understand you not liking football, but just for the
I
spectacular,
like the energy.
of it,
Yeah, I like the
like
energy.
it's America's biggest show. They put a lot of money into it. I mean, it's got new commercials. Like everything about that 3 hours is
Yeah.
going to be
Kendrick Lamar is going to diss
Yeah.
Drake during
Entertaining.
halftime.
Yeah. It's been through the machine. But yeah, I'm a sports
So
fan.
let's talk about halftime. Kendrick Lamar. He just announced that SZA, is that right? SZA.
I'm very proud of
Wow.
you. I like SZA.
By the way, I looked at him like SZA. What the hell is that?
SZA is a goddamn alien.
And then I'm like, what is
do you
SZA?
say that?
And then like SZA is a rapper. And I was like, I knew that, Google.
oh, you're
See, now you're going to yell about Google? Look at this.
Why are you yelling at everybody?
He does. He's very angry these days.
And he's a hypocrite.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
that's
yelling
fine.
at me like more this. Like we have started off 2025. This man is angry. He's mad.
Because Google should know what I'm asking. And the fact that I don't know what SZA
You don't even know what you're
like
asking.
it should use AI to figure out that old
No, but how did you
people
ask it?
are confused
No,
of
but-
what SZA is. That
Grandpa, you
I've
gotta
heard
know-
of SZA.
No, but you got to know your prompt. So you say, how do you say SZA? Or how is SZA pronounced?
Yeah.
That's all you have to type.
I just want to put it.
See? And then he yelled at me for texting him and other stuff.
What is
I can't win with
SZA?
you.
Should be
What is SZA? Sounds like what I'm. That's what it says.
Because you might be asking
You
what the
confuse
acronym
Google.
is.
What is SZA? Well, that might be a protein compound. That might be
Yeah.
a serum. That might be a.
Do you mean a member of the Wu-Tang
Yeah,
Clan?
it might be an amino acid. The SZA. Like I don't know.
Let me ask you this. So, and this may be a dumb old man, slightly racist question.
Yeah.
I do not agree with this at all if that's the
Oh,
case.
So
man.
let's back up to last night at dinner. I was talking to Max about what he did in chorus this morning. Right?
Chorus?
Yeah. So he's in chorus and he's done 2 recitals already. And I'm like, hey.
Well, you guys see you learned the national anthem
Okay,
yet?
yeah. So
How do I know?
So-
these?
No, it's
Sorry,
is that well? It has
Yeah.
to do with the national. So then I asked, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, do you have another recital? He's like, yeah, we have one more spring show. I'm
Do
like,
they
okay.
let you say Rockets red glare, or did they edit out red?
So I asked him like, what new songs are you learning for this new recital?
showing interest in your kids.
And they're
good.
doing a SZA song.
And he's like, I forgot the name of the song, but it's referred to as the Black National Anthem.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've heard of this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
EJ's never heard of it. He's
I've heard
lying.
this. No.
Yeah.
So
I
what
don't-
song is it?
I don't know what it is, but there is a Black
Yeah,
National
because
Anthem.
they mentioned it. They played it before
Yeah,
the
who's-
national championship.
Who sang it? Was it? It was somebody famous who sang it. Was it?
Because it was in Atlanta. They
Was it
sang
Jennifer Hudson?
I think it was.
It might have been Jennifer Hudson sang it.
It's Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Yes,
Yes.
there you go. There you go.
And then so he's like, it's the Black National Anthem. And I'm like, no, he can't say that.
I do like, you're correcting him. You're like,
I was
you're
like,
like, it's
I'm like,
everyone.
don't-
It's everyone's national anthem. And like, you know, I know, you can't
No,
just say
I
that.
wasn't talking. No,
I mean, oh wait, no, I
All
mixed it up.
national anthems
Black
matter.
Lives Matter. All lives matter. No, you can't say that. Oh, God.
No, I didn't
What
think
have
it
I
was
done? What have I done?
the right. I
Yeah.
knew it was some other song than the national anthem, but then I was like, I thought it was some Castleberry kid told my kid that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, this is a black national anthem. I was like, oh no, and I was like, don't say that to other. No, and then so it was very confusing.
Okay, yeah.
And so I went to Google, and then I started,
Thank
and then
you,
it's a thing.
Google.
And then I realized it's a thing, and
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, I would say in
Never even heard
reality, it's
it.
probably it's been around for a minute, but it's only now getting more shine, and predominant black artists and people are performing it.
Wasn't it written during the civil rights era, right?
I don't want to misspeak on that. You might
It
be,
was a question.
you
so
might be
I'm not
right.
Totally sure.
You might be right, but yeah, I know it's been a thing for a long time. It's just now it's getting shine.
Yeah.
And so now people are recognizing it
Yeah.
and calling it the black. Because
Yeah.
then I was reading a Super Bowl article, and then they're like, to sing the black national anthem, like America the Beautiful,
Yeah.
and then the black national anthem. And then I was like, oh, it's there. And then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, this has to be relatively new if I've never
Yes,
heard of
it
like
is.
someone announcing like now to sing the black national anthem.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's
So-
relatively new.
Well, it got to Castleberry schools.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
means it's
fast,
finally got there.
That's a good thing.
fast enough that I hadn't even heard of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well-
this Goo Goo's gonna catch on, man. Is it really
It's
helping out
60 years old if that's
It's
if it's
helping
during
out.
the civil rights
It's
era.
helping the world, bringing the world together. Goo Goo.
So, do you think Kendrick Lamar and SZA is going to be good?
I do not.
All that
and
for
I'm
that?
a fan. No, it's a great question. I'm a fan, and I do
Yeah.
not. I don't think so. I don't think I when you're doing those type of things, and this is going to be unpopular opinion, I
Yeah.
think you should have something that's like fun. And when I think of Kendrick Lamar, I don't necessarily think of fun. I'm not saying he's not fun.
Yeah.
Like Anderson .Paak. There you go. Have him do the halftime show. He's fun. You know what I mean? Like his songs about like you drank up all my liquor. Come on, what I gotta do? Like that's fun. Kendrick Lamar. Is he gonna do They Not Like Us?
Yeah,
Is he?
he's definitely doing that.
Then it's weird because he calls Drake a pedophile.
Yeah.
I don't want that as my halftime show. Is that am I unpopular opinion? Maybe so. Is he an awesome rapper? Yes, one of the greatest. But I don't know.
That
It's
was one of
not-
the only prop bets I did find.
This is not what
if
I
Kendrick was
want.
going to do that song.
This is not what I want. Just you know what?
Generically fun.
Just
yeah,
give me Paul McCartney every year until he dies.
or
and then-
LMFAO.
Yeah,
Shots.
Just
Yeah.
give me something fun.
I like shots.
Yeah, I would. You know what? I would take LMFAO over Kendrick Lamar just because I like fun, and I think we've kind of gotten away from that. And I don't want it political. I don't want a marching band out there. I don't want a political statement against our president or for our president or what.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that. I just want fun.
John Batiste is singing the national
He's super
anthem.
talented. He's great. So
Yeah.
yeah, that will probably be really good.
Take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
under.
I'm imagining he's going to play piano.
I would take the under on that one.
Do you know anybody? Well, there's no numbers.
I'm just saying. That's my
Yeah,
first
yeah.
instinct of it.
Well,
chat room
2
with a great
hours then.
idea.
Are you gonna take the under on that?
Yes, definitely.
Chat room with a great idea. Bring old Big Fat Dave Blunts out there. Oh, that would be fantastic. If Kendrick Lamar brings out Big Fat Dave Blunts, that would be fantastic.
I would be excited about that.
What guest?
With that his girlfriend, right?
Wow, she
So-
Yeah, I know.
and his girlfriend.
So it's in the Caesars Superdome, and
New Orleans.
and then it's close enough to drive, but I don't know anybody, and it's been in New Orleans before, and I've never even talked to anybody that's drove from Central Florida to
I
the
have.
Super Bowl.
The
Have you?
sugar. Well, not to the. We drove to the Sugar Bowl. Ever told you the story about
my
how I
God.
dislocated both
The
my
irony
pinkies
of you going to the Sugar Bowl.
at the Sugar Bowl and Superdome?
Yeah, but there's not the Super Bowl. That's
Yeah,
what
no,
I'm
but I'm saying I've driven from there to there. That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad drive.
No, I know. I've known plenty of people that have driven to New Orleans, but I'm not the actual go to the Super Bowl because like the tickets are so expensive.
Crazy expensive.
The regular person just doesn't go to this.
My
right?
daughter does not understand the pricing for Super Bowl tickets. Like I told her, I said, Maisie, some seats aren't even that good. You could spend like $5,000.
Yeah.
No more.
I
yeah.
said, but I was just trying to give her
Yeah.
like a number that would hurt my heart, but we would have average seats. I said $5,000. She's like, no way. I'm like, baby, seriously, some people will spend couple $100,000 going to this game. She has no she can't even.
The highest ticket price of this game is $69,000 a ticket for one ticket.
Yeah.
So you're talking about over hundreds of thousands.
Couple.
And the I looked it up and like it varies everywhere. And they said the lowest price ticket was like a little over $4,000, but that's only for season ticket holders. And
Yeah.
and
You have
those
to have
go
access,
Hey,
yeah.
and then
They had to buy it right away from the
Yeah.
the office.
Yeah. And then
Well, they're already like it's
Yeah.
not a.
it's on StubHub.
It's
yeah.
not even a can I buy it now. It's an as soon as it's there, it's gone.
Yeah,
And you're looking at the like I
all
found
the bots got it.
in a couple of articles like average 8,000.
It's cool that you got to go stand outside. I know you might have different thoughts on it now, and I'm not being funny. I'm not making jokes. I think that experience, that drive, and being there, I think it's cool. And it was when that stadium was brand new. I think it's cool. You can crap all over my opinion, but I think it's cool.
Well, I bought technically I had a ticket for that Super Bowl
I think that's cool.
in
That was
Dallas.
pretty cool.
But it was outside and it was for the outside area.
I
was
still
watching
think it's
it.
cool. I love all those stadiums and stuff, and like
Yeah.
Yeah, the events they put on outside the Super Bowl are amazing.
are insane.
Yeah.
Well, that's how where they do their Christmas show. The Dallas
Yeah.
Cowboy outside of the stadium, they do like a free Christmas extravaganza for like the fans and stuff.
But
They have,
if-
like Santa Claus
For like
out
season
there.
ticket holders
Yeah.
come to the event.
Yeah,
Okay.
If
like
some-
a fun fest or something.
If someone asked me, have I been to the Super Bowl, I would say no.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
Because
You weren't in the stadium at the time of the game.
I only count being in the
Yeah.
stadium as being at the Super Bowl, even though I had tickets and it was counted
You were
as
part of the
total
energy.
attendance.
It's still pretty cool.
But it wasn't. You need to go inside to be at the Super Bowl.
It is on my
Which-
list. I've told Andrea a couple times, like if the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, I mean,
It'd be worth going to get
would
a
I
jet
try
for
to
that.
scratch
Yeah.
up a really, really cheap ticket?
Me and the Grizz one time put a pact down that if the Dolphins ever made the Super Bowl, we'd buy tickets to
should.
go.
You should,
And
yeah.
it was when we were in high school. We were like, oh yeah, we'll buy tickets. So it'll be, once we're old.
Oh my
or
god,
whatever.
that's like a movie.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what?
That's an Adam Sandler movie.
If it's local, I would definitely do it.
I'll be dead before. Guaranteed.
No, don't say that. Don't say it.
Unless all the stadiums turn
He's
to
never been
domes,
more
Sad.
confident.
the Dolphins are not winning anything.
All right, let's keep it moving. What else?
whatever.
we
That was the
got
only
here?
thing I had. Pretty much was that
All
and
right.
that, and the Pro Bowl's here in town in Orlando.
I
But
want
the
to
problem
go.
is
Bijan's coming.
the problem
Thank you,
is
Saquon.
the skills events are not open to the public. You can't on Thursday. They're doing like the dodgeball and like catching all the punts and all
I don't
that
think
stuff.
those have ever been open, right? Those
Yes,
are
they
TV
have.
only.
They used to be all the time.
Oh,
They were
really?
They
Disney's
have a
Wild
s-
World of Sports. They did it the first couple years.
They'll have a small audience of like friends and family and VIPs there for television.
The indoor facility that
Yeah.
they're using. Yeah.
And so they've done that last year, and then they only sell tickets to the actual flag football game they're
See, I
doing
don't like that.
this Sunday.
Yeah.
Which some friends of mine from Miami were thinking about taking their kids up because their kids are into fantasy football and they know the players and stuff, so they wanted to see these players in real life.
I've heard
Yeah.
good
Which-
things about it.
It's right here in our backyard,
Yeah.
and it's interesting that like locals have. I don't really hear any excitement about the Pro Bowl being right
Yeah.
down the damn street.
Yeah.
It's weird, dude, because all these players are super celebrities.
Oh, they're in town already.
You
Most
know,
of them are here.
and-
now.
Yeah, most of them are at the theme parks.
Yeah,
It's
they're
already,
going
you're-
to theme parks right
You're
now.
already starting to see like
Universal
the
Studios.
photos pop
Yeah.
up on
Yeah.
all the theme park blogs I'm at. Like
Yeah.
they're all out there.
And like it does seem fun to go watch some of the best football players that you follow. And
They're
you have
very
in your
approachable
fantasy-
too, from what I
Yeah.
understand.
And to play a flag football game, but for some reason we're not interested.
Chat
Why
room.
would-
There's people
Oh.
in the chat
Oh,
room.
they're going? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We got. I'm taking my youngest. Yeah, I think it sounds awesome. I would love to go.
Good
But I'm
kid
more
event.
interested in like the dodgeball thing and the catching the punts and seeing the
I
quarterbacks
mean,
throw
honestly,
for points.
I'm such an
I
old
really
man.
wanna
I just
watch
want to
that.
get high and walk around and look at something cool. You know what I mean?
They probably have a ridiculous amount of fan engagement stuff that the NFL like pours
Free
tons
stuff.
of money. Yeah.
You walk out of there with 1,000 Live Strong bracelets.
Yeah. And all the sponsors have like elaborate things set up, like
Yeah.
Verizon Wireless will have some like,
Nutrigrain, you get granola bars and hair ties.
Some kind of bag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
phone chargers.
but you'll have to like
Some doggles.
you'll have
When do we
you'll
start
get to
giving up
throw
all that stuff? When do we start?
accuracy.
When do companies say, you know what?
Stop buying
No,
Chinese
we're
garbage
not.
to
We're
give away.
no more koozies. No more phone chargers.
They'll always do it, I think, because
It's free advertising.
it's cheap garbage,
Yeah.
and they have no way to know if it works. Some guys just like, I think it works. That's what I do.
I'm so glad.
I know that's what they do.
Should we go to Nerd? Should we go to Nerd? God damn, you're
let's go
funny.
there.
You are really
It's
funny.
hilarious.
That's
You've been
what
cracking
everybody
me up.
does.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's really funny. All
Well,
right.
in February, I'm going to LA, and hopefully the fires and all that
God.
stuff will be done.
What are they? What are you
They're
starring in the
doing-
Jelly Rolls?
No.
Lifetime movie.
No, a Unova tour is there at the Pasadena Rose Bowl. It'll be the first time I'll be back to the Rose Bowl since we won the national championship there in 2001.
So what
Okay.
is this now? It's a
The Unova tour, which is a region in Pokemon Go that
God.
has that
Oh,
stuff.
I knew it was
Like, this
something
is
stupid.
why I
band.
don't
I was like,
download the app.
Like what he said is the Unova tour, and I was
Unova.
like, "What the Unova tour? That sounds."
UNOVA.
And then I thought the UNOVA, that's a college. These guys going back to school. This big for nothing's gonna run it again.
That's the reason why I don't download the gambling apps, because I'm still playing Pokemon Go.
So they.
Okay, you are making a good point with because you are very addicted to that.
Yeah.
What is this?
That
It's
Marvel
a
Rivals right now.
Pokemon event.
Yeah,
It's
at Pasadena.
So this is an area of the Pokemon universe that is a new area. Is that?
Well, no, usually they've been doing different seasons where it was Kanto, and then there was.
But no, you have to explain what that is.
Okay,
'Cause
Kanto
when you
is
just
like
say,
based off of Japanese areas, and Unova was basically, I think it's off of England, and where it's like the Knights of the Round Table and like castles and knights and stuff like that.
We got
That's what
real
Unova
problems
is.
in the world, man, and you're out here doing this stuff.
I'm trying to avoid those problems
We got
and
trans
ignore
people
them.
losing their rights.
Well,
they
we
can't
got
fight
Dr.
in the
Phil
military,
joining
and you're
ICE
out
people and
there,
going places. I
this
don't want to
guy's
think
out
about
there
that.
sucking unicorn dogs, and we got real problems in the world.
Aren't you embarrassed?
A little bit, yes, but I don't want to think about like
This
Dr.
place is
Phil going after
melting
ICE
down.
with people. Have you
And
seen
look
that
at what
video?
you're doing.
Oh,
God, I call to arms,
but that's why I'm
man.
going to Pasadena. Well, my wife has never been to Disneyland before. I've been there before because we went to while we were at the Rose Bowl, and she wants to go. So we're going with the whole family. We're all going over there.
And then you leave the family at the hotel.
Yeah,
and
no,
you go
they're going to go to
Unicorn
Universal
Land.
Studios while I go to Pasadena, California,
Yeah,
and do
so
the,
you
the
go
Pokemon
walk
Go
around in a
event.
virtual universe
Yeah.
while your family makes memories. All right.
Well, Saturday I'm going with them to Disneyland.
Are you? And then it's inside the.
It's
stadium?
outside the stadium and somewhat inside the stadium.
Okay, so they rent out the stadium, so you
Yeah.
walk on the.
I've
floor.
whole never area, seen
the inside of a stadium before. What is this?
Is there any chance that any other participant of this Pokemon Go has ever played on that
College
field?
football?
Or no,
Oh, yeah,
actually
I
been.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of nerds
Yeah,
on
there's
the
a lot,
lines,
yeah.
man.
What's the running back from the Detroit Lions?
Williams.
He's a big Pokemon Go guy.
After watching like
Jameson Williams.
I've
Yeah.
watched so much like behind the scenes football content to never think that all those guys are nerds,
Yeah.
especially the bigger dudes. All
Yeah.
nerds.
But
They're
I
all nerds.
I have more respect for him for like what he said. Like
yeah, because he gets all the way to the NFL. I got low rung of the best team of college football.
I respect you, buddy. I respect you.
there was
We'll
a,
balance it out here.
there was a after the game conference when the Lions lost,
Yeah.
and Jameson Williams,
Yeah.
they were interviewing him, and then he's like, I just want to go home and play
Yeah,
Pokemon Go.
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
And then he's like, the longer this goes, the less Pokemon Go
Yeah.
I can play.
Yeah.
And then he starts yelling at the reporter for saying Pokemon.
Yeah, say it right. Put some respect on it. Yeah, put some respect on the name.
And then for some reason I'm like, oh, this guy's got the good.
I like sports
Fast as
stars.
hell.
though.
I love how it's.
Who was the basketball player that was it being interviewed? And they're like, it was the end of the season. And he lost, and he's like a Ukrainian shoot. He's like,
The Joker.
I just want to go home to my horse.
Horses, yeah, because he's a big.
He's like, I
he
don't
raises
care.
horses
I don't care
and
what you
raises
said.
them and
I just want
everything.
to go home to farm.
All right, let's talk some nerd stuff. What do we got here?
Okay, the other thing I have that's nerd. Tomorrow, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is going to be premiering on Disney Plus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's basically the high school years of Spider-Man, and it's animated. So I think your kids might like that.
A lot of web in the pants.
Now,
A lot of web in the pants.
There is some like
Hold
controversy.
on, the
'cause
second
they
time I almost
changed
said it like Trump.
the gender of some
A
characters.
lot
and
of
race
web in the pants. Did he do it? I don't know. Maybe he did.
Spider-Man's a woman?
No, like they changed the race of Norman Osborn and his son Harry as a female now instead of a guy.
Oh, God.
So people are going to lose their mind over that. They're going to say it's woke and everything. I'm like, whatever. Who cares?
It's fine.
It's animated.
It's a new story.
Yeah.
And this is a different universe than Miles Morales.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But it
But
might
this
be added
is-
into his next one.
Now, is it? This is not a. This is made for.
This is Marvel, yeah.
Is
This
it made for
Disney.
teenagers? Is it made for adults?
I think it's made for kids.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not going to be as dark as the Marvel universe has become, but it'll be more lighthearted because it's his high school years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think my sons might be interested in watching this. So,
Yeah.
like,
Comes
they
out tomorrow, Wednesday.
always like the Superman universe, and they like Miles Morales and all the movies and stuff.
Spider-Man, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Miles Morales
Well, there's
Spider-Man.
there's Peter Parker and Miles Morales. He's differentiating. That's why. He's doing a good
gotcha.
job.
So and the fact that it's not just short clips of someone playing video games on YouTube or whatever, it's like anything but that. It's like
Yeah.
at least
Where they just
something
swipe
that's
up
a
after 9
story.
seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, my kids are going crazy.
Yeah,
with that
I do
lately.
think about that sometimes if we are, because it's only, like you always say, it's only reps. It's like you almost have to retrain your brain. Like I have noticed that even sitting through a movie, I'm kind of like,
it's happened to Dan.
So I got to retrain myself into like sitting with a movie without even getting on the phone. And being like, no, man, you said movie. Your movie.
That's why I like going to the movie theater because it
Yeah,
makes me
I agree.
put my phone away.
I see it now.
Yeah.
I've been wrong. I will admit when I'm 100% wrong on things. I see the theater thing now
Yeah.
because I'm starting to get more into movies.
Well, especially speaking of the 14th, Valentine's Day is the new Captain America, Brave New World, where they're going to have the Red Hulk in it.
How many people go, because I've seen this at the theater where I'll look over and people will be just looking at their phone.
No.
I see it. It drives me crazy.
It's you wasted money.
It doesn't, like the light of it or whatever, like they're being respectful, but because they're putting it down or whatever, but they can't sit through the movie. They're just
no
scrolling through the phone.
self-control, and it's the reason why I don't put the gambling thing on my phone.
Honestly, low-key, that's very sad.
Yeah, it is.
If you can't do that. I've noticed it for me. I've noticed it at home watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a rule now that I don't do the two at like the same time. Either you're on your phone or you're watching TV.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit there and like hover between both worlds.
But then when I'm on my phone, I'm like, this is so much better. Little tiny squirrel. Yeah. Just getting me in the face with the
tiny whips.
Yeah. And then like, what's next?
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. 3 seconds.
It's like the end of masturbation for a nanosecond 1 million times.
What's next?
Well, the other thing I have is Daredevil Born Again. It's coming out in March 4th.
Doug the Born Again.
Daredevil Born Again.
Okay.
It's the continuation of the Netflix series, but it's on Disney Plus, and they're saying they're going to make it just as dark, just as violent, because the Punisher's going to be in this.
We talked to Vince Taylor about
I
that.
know you did. You wasted most of my
Then
nerd stuff.
why'd you bring it
Yeah,
up?
you should have probably
There's a million other things.
watched the Vince segment and maybe
I did watch Vince's
go in a
segment.
different direction, or you could just write down everything he said and then do it in your fat white way.
Yeah, he says it
I'm
cool.
getting replaced.
Yeah, he does say
Yeah,
cool.
I thought our president
Yeah.
was getting rid of
You're
DGI.
like, hey, I play Pokemon Go, and he's like, hey,
Yeah.
Pokemon Go.
Just like when Jamerson Williams says it. I'm like,
You were gonna say Jamiroquai.
Virtual insanity?
back to
Tom's racist. He thinks Jameis Winston is Jamiroquai.
Yeah.
Back to sports. Pete Carroll's going to be the new
coach of the Raiders.
The
Yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah.
My God, last time we saw Pete Carroll, he was falling down the steps of Air Force One. How old is that guy?
Okay, hold on.
Old.
He's 84, right?
He's old.
No, he's in his
He's
70s.
in his 70s, late 70s.
It doesn't matter.
He's
If
in
you're
his
past 60,
mid-70s.
it's
And
too
correct
much.
me if I'm wrong, though. One of the only coaches to have both a college and an NFL
yeah.
championship, right?
Yeah.
He's a big dog.
So there's a TikTok video of Pete Carroll playing catch with the players. And he's playing quarterback, and he's got the wide receivers running, and he's waving off, go, and he can throw the ball pretty well.
Yeah, really?
He still gets
for
it, yeah.
old man,
is he on the tee?
He old man throws it. I'm sure he's on the tee.
Yeah,
Everybody
for sure,
that has
yeah.
money's on the tee.
When are you going to get on the tee?
I don't know.
Will you let Tom and I as an experiment get you on the tee, and we'll call it Project Monster. What if we made you into a real Pokemon, dude? That's your dream, is to be a Pokemon.
well, yeah.
Let Tom and I
No.
make you into the... We're
I'd
gonna
rather
make-
You
just
have
be a
to work-
if you
trainer.
let me control you, let me be your mind, and you just worry about listening to what I have to do, because I have no hips, right?
Okay.
You let me control your mind. I will make you into a goddamn killing machine.
Are we doing Master Blaster? Are
I'll
you
make
going to
him
ride on my
into
shoulders?
a killing machine. No, I won't make you do that. That's demoralizing. I'm not going to make you do that. But I will, with my killer instinct, and I get you on an eating program, I get you working out, we'll make him into a killing machine.
That takes work. Let's go the human blob way.
I'm listening.
You see how fat I can get? Is that what you're going
Yeah,
for?
yeah.
Oh, that is
Well, I am
easier.
just playing Marvel Rivals mostly now, so I'm just sitting in my chair.
That is easier.
Yeah, human
How
blob.
bobby could you get, do you think? What's the
Oh.
heaviest you've ever been?
Right now, probably.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
you heavier.
Well, it'll always be that way. Right now, will
I-
always be
I
that
gotta
way.
From now until forever, you will always do your best.
Yeah. But like seriously, could we get you to like
Yeah.
600-700?
No.
No.
Do you think you could beat Jelly Roll in an eating contest? Like, could you out Jelly Roll him?
Well, I don't think so.
Could you become
Because I don't like boogers.
the new, like, I think we could get you to 500. Easy.
No. Because I think my wife would leave me for sure. That's the only reason why.
Some
I
girls
would
get
never
into
do
it.
it.
Some people like it.
Yeah, but
They like the way it feels.
Like
It smooths
my
you out.
family is a trap right now.
It
They just gotta
smooths
keep.
you-
They're keeping me where
It
I'm.
smooths you out.
So
weight.
a couple other head coach hires, Vrabel with the Pats. That
Yes.
seems like that should work.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson with Chicago.
Yeah.
What I have a
Do you
problem
feel
with.
bad for Ben Johnson going to Chicago?
Well, it's
I feel bad for the Saints. They haven't got anyone yet, and Cowboys
I'll
took
do it.
Schottenheimer.
I'll coach the Saints.
you have a really good roster. So I'm sure that's what he's looking at. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
they have been losing for so long. And, of course,
I think that's the team with the
last
most potential,
They-
and that's what he went with.
They have a great quarterback and a bunch of good receivers and tight end. You know, they have a good roster. So it's like, all right, you go into, the worst scenario is going to a place with a horrible roster, no quarterback, and
Yeah, he
you
has
got to deal with,
pieces.
and so I guess he has the best opportunity to do well. The point being, though, if it's a bad organization, I mean, this roster was there last year.
That's your new thing, isn't it? The organization.
well,
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, how
it shows
bad?
it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think.
Like
the
the
coach
Jets owner
be-
just apologized. He's like, "I'll do better." I'm
Why
like,
do you
how
think
do
I think Atlanta's not going to do? I'm not.
Same thing with the Cowboys
I'm
with
not.
Schottenheimer.
I'm not on board with the GM. I'm not on board with Arthur Blank's decisions. I'm not. Raheem, it doesn't even matter.
Well-
right? When it gets to him, it doesn't even matter.
I just feel bad for the Bucks too. They lost their guy, their offensive coordinator, to the Jaguars after
Oh,
they fired
right.
the GM.
Yeah.
He's
Now-
like, "I'll be back." Nope.
There is the one instance that I can see now that of a good coach going to it's
A bad team.
at least a rumored to be bad organization is the Chargers. Because the people have been criticizing the Chargers for years for being cheap and not wanting to pay.
Yeah.
The owner is cheap.
Yeah.
Like the organization is, they don't want to spend any money. They bring in Harbaugh.
Harbaugh's doing
and
fine.
goes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
The first year.
Yeah.
Again, Justin Herbert.
He also likes to throw the balls too, Harbaugh, just like Pete Carroll. He's
Yeah.
always out there.
No,
It's like
yeah,
once
yeah,
a
yeah.
player, always a
quarterback.
player, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but he
you
was a
can't-
quarterback.
Yeah, you can't stop.
He was
throwing
in
it.
that skills challenge.
He
that I remember
was. He
showing.
wears the gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Do
The
you
one
have
that-
anything else for Nerd? I
The
don't
other
want
thing I had for Nerd, Friendly Neighbors, Spider-Man, Captain America. No, I hit everything except for me playing Marvel Rivals. That's the only thing I was going to talk about.
So
Are your boys playing Marvel Rivals
My
yet?
son is.
not yet. No,
They might like it. It's kind of fun.
It is very fun.
they're stuck in the Fortnite, playing with their friends, talking.
Get them to
ass.
switch over to Marvel Rivals. I guarantee it's the same kind of.
Can
thing
they
as-
talk with their friends?
Yes.
And
You
is
just get a
it
headset. Yeah.
is it an open world type scenario?
Not completely open world, but pretty open world. There's like certain maps.
All
Yeah.
right. It's internet based, so they could play
yeah,
with
and
whoever.
it's cross-platform. You can play PC, Xbox, PlayStation 5.
All right.
Yeah, I'm an old man. I'm starting to venture into that bird game, Wingspan.
You're not gonna play some Marvel Rivals with me.
No.
Me and Ross have been playing. We're going to play the other night.
I know my role now at 48. I only download Mahjong, dominoes, and card games.
What, you do Minesweeper next too?
I might do some Minesweeper. I might do that.
What do you like about it? Marvel
It's Marvel
Rivals?
characters,
Okay.
and it's like some of the they even go deep. They go Squirrel Girl. They go Luna Snow.
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
Dude, what is that?
I know Squirrel Girl.
She's
I dated her.
She's beating Galactus. She's beating Thanos, and she's beating Doctor Doom. So Squirrel Girl's actually OP.
She's beaten Thanos.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
In the
No
comics.
squirrel could beat a
It's
god.
comic
a
books.
mega god.
If you got the
some-
writer,
He
they're going to
killed
write
the
whatever
whole-
they
half the
want.
world.
That's the
right?
dumbest thing ever. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to write that. That's the dumbest
That
thing.
even
What's her
Stan Lee-
power?
Yeah, that-
Squirrel?
so
Yeah,
you-
she can talk to squirrels.
You want me to believe that
Monkey
some
Joe's
dude
her friend.
he's stealing all these jewels for some sort of gauntlet that he's going to smash the universe or destroy mankind,
He's
and a
gonna
squirrel and a squirrel got him.
Yep.
Oh, the squirrel got him.
How did the Squirrel Girl get him with the
I
army
forget
of
the color.
squirrels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they
ah!
took the gauntlet off of
Who
him. and
would have
everything.
known that a man that wants to snap the universe
Lost
to
to a
nothing
squirrel?
can get bit by a squirrel?
I hate the powers where you could just control the animals.
Yeah, stupid.
Oh, like Aquaman and
Yeah.
Namor.
You know, I would do weird stuff though with dogs. I'd be like, I control. What's your power? I control Dalmatians. I can make them poop at a Walmart. I make them run inside. They're just crapping everywhere.
Yeah. And then it's like, so you just can
Hold on
mind
there.
control
Hold
all
on.
the animals.
Aquaman's pretty cool though.
Make squids come on the land. And
You can
squirt
make
ink at
like
people.
you can make like a dolphin come up and like start poking some dude to death.
Yeah. Well, you have to be in the ocean though for it to
No,
make
no
the difference.
No, I think I can do it from here. I just can't see what's happening.
Yeah, but none of the the aquatic animals can get on land to do anything.
No, but I can make them. I can make. Hey, swim fast.
It's just the worst of all powers. Like, can she turn into a squirrel?
No.
God damn it!
Well, how does she get the power?
I think she's a mutant. I can't.
A mutant.
Squirrel
That's the
Girl's
worst.
never
mutant.
been my favorite.
That's
so
the worst.
I just
Hold
know
on. I'm
enough about
googling
it.
this. We have time. We have time.
Well, the other thing I got to bring up is my son hit black belt this weekend.
No, really?
Yeah, he hit black
Congratulations.
belt in karate, so he just hit black belt. He's really excited. He even wore the black belt to go to his grandma's house because he was so excited that he.
Oh,
got
you
it.
got to do that. And then you got to
Yeah.
kick your grandma. Right? That's what. Hey, grandma, check
Well,
this out.
He
Kick
was
her
gonna
right
go
there.
to the bounce place and
Yeah.
he was gonna wear that. I'm like, no, you gotta give it to me. You're gonna lose it.
You're
there.
like
Now,
a
if-
flying kick right to grandma's belly.
If we had Seth come in and give him the black belt test, do you think he'd pass
Yeah.
Seth's standards?
Depending on
because,
he knows all the katas and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so now is there because some of these places.
It was a 4-hour test on Saturday morning.
So are you calling it a belt farm?
Oh, you telling me? Don't
You're
call it
calling
a belt farm.
I'm
I
just
will
saying.
have.
Yeah, you're calling it a belt
I'll
farm.
have the sensei
I'm
come
saying
in
you
here.
should- gotta buy it kinda fast.
You know
He
what?
is
In order to solve this, you have to spar his son.
I thought black belts were special,
You
like
should be
rare.
like in your 40s and getting a black belt.
He's been doing it since COVID, so it's been a
Okay.
while.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing plants since COVID. Don't know that much. If you had a botanist come in,
My
and
son
yeah,
knows
yeah.
more about
start
karate than you know
grilling
about
me.
You're
plants.
maybe a yellow belt in plants.
Not even that, a brown. I think they had
No,
red
brown's
stripes.
high.
Brown's
Brown's
high.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
So you don't even
Because
know
my
what you're
daughter's
talking about.
about.
daughter's sand belt right now. She's working her way.
Sand
up.
belt.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what that means.
Don't say
That's
that.
you can't talk about that,
I
dude.
just put
You can't say that.
like black
Sand
belt
is below brown.
as a highest. Like I thought, isn't it rare? Like hard to get? Seems.
Back to Squirrel Girl.
okay.
Dorian Green, a teenager with a squirrel-like appearance, discovers that she has superpowers that allow her to communicate with squirrels, highlighted agility, and a prehensile tail. She was introduced as a lighthearted, quirky character intended to bring humor to the Marvel Universe.
So she can talk to all squirrels,
Yeah.
all species of squirrels. What about close, like the otter or like a fox? Kind of.
Every kind of rodent?
No.
Can
just
she talk to
squirrels.
rats?
All right.
Can she
She
talk
has
to
squirrels. She has sharp claws. She has a bushy tail. That's gross.
But she has no technical.
I mean, what
squirrel
kind of
power
psycho
except for
makes
her
a teenage character who has a bushy tail? You're a psycho if you make that. You should be
She
investigated.
throws acorns at people in the game in Marvel Rivals.
Stupid. It's also racist.
Also, the squirrel's tail, it just helps with balance, right?
Yeah,
And
when they
that's it.
fly.
It doesn't. Well, that's a flying squirrel. I guess that's part of.
Well, all squirrel when they jump, I think they
Yeah.
can use their tail as a way to move
kind
their
of
weight.
glide down.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Glide
Stupid.
down. It is stupid.
You've been listening too much of Schwarzenegger's book.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's stupid. And so she beat Thanos.
Yeah.
How?
I don't remember.
Hold
I
on,
never read the book.
We have time. I'm
Oh
gonna
my God.
ask.
So, are you going to? Is it Comic-Con?
MegaCon is
MegaCon.
coming up, right?
Yeah.
But my wife's MyCon is coming back.
No, really.
Yeah, April 19th.
Congratulations.
How much money could you make off that? Because I'm thinking about doing one. Because
Depends on how many you charge for
Yeah,
tickets.
yeah, what do you want to do?
I know
we call ours
events.
Con. There's nothing in the warehouse. You're
I
just gonna
would
pay.
love-
You come on in. The whole thing was a con.
Because it's like I know how to
I'll
put
talk
on
to you
events.
about it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and we've been doing all our events for free.
I
I,
wanna do one,
use my
Most of the
experience.
cost is the location. That's usually most of the cost, and
Let's
then
do
everything.
one sad like that Willy Wonka one that was in the UK. Remember?
Oh yeah, they only get like
where they villainized that girl.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Well, it was just funny. Let's do a really crappy.
Well, like because the Willy Wonka con was super crappy and
You
people.
don't remember that
No.
story?
I
Like,
remember the
there
story,
There was
yeah.
like a photo of this girl. There was like a bunch of like crappy decorations.
There was
It
a
looked like-
horrible picture like Violet being Violet. and-
Oh yeah, it was so funny.
It was just super.
Just terrible.
Just Bobo,
Yeah,
yeah.
just Bobo.
yeah.
Just bad.
Which MyCon is not.
And then where do you get the money? Any sponsors or all ticket price?
Well,
What's the
my
business
idea
model?
would be get sponsors to give us money. We'll put their logos on one big
Yep.
banner, and we'll put that in the warehouse.
Yeah, you always get a banner. They love that.
Yeah, they do.
Some of
love
that, and plus you have people buy tables. That's part of the.
Oh yeah, the rent the
separating the
tables.
cost, yeah.
All right.
Ticket
so
prices.
Got tables, tickets,
Parking.
sponsors. All right. Parking. You charge for parking? All right.
You can charge for parking.
Yeah, we should.
The reason why MyCon does, we don't go to places that don't have paid for parking.
What about
Unlike
other
MegaCon.
vendors? We can have other vendors.
Other vendors.
I don't care if
You
you
bringing like
your...
a food vendor or does
Yeah.
that?
No. I mean other people that want to sell their garbage.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the tables.
Tables is the that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You get
Hey.
Papone in there, and then all the.
Our buddy,
But if you're
Jeff,
also selling food, you can
our
also
buddy-
get a cut of the food.
all right. Okay. Cut of the food.
We'll get Bustecker out there. He makes hot dogs.
So what are we talking? 8-9 grand take home? What?
No. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
What was that?
That was a lie.
There was blood.
It's come back.
We should probably get out of here, buddy.
Well, EJ, when is MyCon happening?
MyCon's April 19th.
April
At
19th?
the body, the one on iDrive.
All right.
I don't know how to say it.
At the place, you know.
There's a ridiculous amount of
You'll
venues
know.
on
The
iDrive.
place that we
Yeah,
used to
just-
go to has been they
Just drive
closed
out there.
down.
You'll know when you see it.
the thing on iDrive that's what you're promoting.
Just drive, and then when you start hearing the noise, you'll know.
You know, you're
Oh, this is the other thing that threw me off. My wife has a new pillow that I got to show
Boy,
you.
you're dressed like the My Pillow guy.
No,
You look
that's
like
what my wife has a pillow in our bed.
You
It
look like
freaked
Mike
me out this
Lindell.
morning.
Was that Thor?
No, it's Henry Cavill.
Okay.
With here, let's see if I can do it.
So your wife has a pillow with a
With a
shirtless
naked man
with Henry
on it.
Cavill with his shirt open,
Okay, is that like a
with his mustache,
a thing that wraps around
yeah,
the
it's a
pillow?
pillow cover.
What, does
yeah.
she sit on that and ride it?
Probably. I don't know. I'm not
All right.
around all the time.
Well, that's probably what she's doing. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So EJ's still here, and Daniel wanted to talk about something that he saw on Reddit.
Yeah, I saw this, I go to Reddit and I'm like searching through news and stuff, and then I belong to some of these categories of groups that you can get in where people are asking for advice, and then sometimes you just come across things that are so sad, and then you wonder, is it real? Is it not real? Is somebody just playing a part? Because sometimes you will get that on the internet. But
yeah.
I just want to read this to you. This is a gentleman. The subject line says, "I ruined my life by seeing a prostitute."
All right.
And it says, "Hi, English is not my first language, but I will try to explain everything. I'm 31 years old, and I never had a girlfriend. I had problems when I was younger. I suffered bullying, anxiety, and then social phobia. In parentheses, I don't want to make excuses or justify what I did. I always consider myself a good person, but last year I was on my lowest point, and I did a poor decision, and I lost my virginity to a prostitute. I regretted so much. I think I ruined my life. My dream was having a girlfriend and then create a family. The worst thing is after what I did, I know what I was not looking for sex. I was looking for love. It's over. Couple of weeks ago, I could save some money, around $1,000. So I went to same woman and gave her all the money and told her I was sorry for what I did and that I didn't expect her to forgive me, and no amount of money could forgive what I did. Obviously, she was surprised and said thank you. We cried and hugged a lot, and we talked and we talked a bit. And then I left, and I felt a little better. But on the other hand, I felt much worse. That's what Donald Trump would say. I gave her the money. I felt worse. But on the other hand, I felt better. You got to say both,
Got the
right?
poison
You
out.
got to say both. So anyway, basically, he goes on and on to say that he can now never have a girlfriend because he slept with a prostitute. Because he says that if he got a girlfriend, he would have to.
It's transactional now.
He would have to tell that person that he had a prostitute. Now there are these type
I
of
thought you
people,
had to pay for it
and
every
I would
time.
like to think I was one of these. I think back in the day, I think I've learned the error of my ways. But there are people that will almost offer up the full story
Oh yeah.
when they don't need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I felt for this guy. I read
Overshare.
this.
Yeah.
I was not laughing. I did laugh at that one part, but I was like, oh my God, I almost wanted to write under there, just whatever you do, you have to compartmentalize the prostitute. And that has to be something that you did that never, ever comes into contact with any other thought or any other thing that you will ever do in your life. Those are completely separate transactions of life.
Yeah, I thought everybody had the ability to I want to forget about that. Yeah, I can do that.
But I don't
either.
think everybody does. No, I don't think
Here's the
everybody
question I
does.
have for you guys:
No.
Are you happy with the person you lost your virginity to?
Why'd you bring it up? Because you know it's my wife. And of course I'm not.
Look how happy EJ is.
Well, if I had a choice, I would have
Sowed your wild oats.
seen
Yeah.
what's out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Go
and then-
squeeze some fruit.
Then I could have remembered it
Yeah.
for future times. And now I'm stuck remembering the same thing. It was like, goddamn, the day after tomorrow. Sex.
Because that's what I was thinking during the thing. It's like, well, your first time, most people are not like, okay, it wasn't great.
What percentage of the people that we know and come in contact with have been with a lady of the night? Do you know anybody that's
I've
been a
never
Oh,
been-
prostitute?
yeah.
I've never been with one.
I know plenty of people.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, yeah.
Do I know any of what? Don't say anything.
Oh,
but
I know
Do
some
I
that
know some
have,
of your
yeah.
friends that have been with a prostitute?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Most of them.
That's the meanest thing you can do, by the way. It's just
Yeah.
like they're all involved.
Yeah.
And the ones that say no, they're lying because I know
Yeah.
them. So
And we had you and I had some friends that are no longer with us that I know for a fact that were with multiple prostitutes.
I've got a friend that was with a prostitute in high school.
That's impressive.
In his parents' house.
That's the risky business. That's called the risky business.
He found it was.
That's awesome,
It was
dude.
the beginning
Back
of the.
pages?
the
I
internet.
wanted that. I wanted that. Like I was like, how do I pull this off? How do I make this happen?
Yeah, he went on the internet and
He's a genius.
This is like 1999.
Oh my God.
And then he found a prostitute. It was like at the beginning of Craigslist or whatever.
Or the Silk Road or whatever.
And then I remember he told me he's like, hey, there's a giant black dude waiting in his car outside. This is before text. He was called me.
So the pimp is out
And
there.
then the prostitute was in his room, and he's like, the prostitute's in my room. My parents are asleep. He's calling me from the kitchen, from his kitchen
That's
phone.
so badass.
I didn't even have a cell. He's calling his kitchen
Would-
phone to my bedroom phone.
Would this person?
And I'm like, what?
Would this person? Are you still in contact with this?
Oh
person?
yeah.
Is this
What-
the Vis Queen guy?
Could we ever put a voice changer on this person and get the recant, like get the tape? I want the tapes.
He may do it. I don't. He doesn't.
That's
like
wild, dude. It's wild.
That's crazy.
That's risky business.
Like in the middle of it, he calls you.
That
That's,
was the
That's a
dream.
little weird too.
It was Rebecca De Monet.
Oh yeah.
and then she.
did it on the train.
Oh, my
That was
God.
amazing.
No, because we were all laughing about it. we were like,
awesome.
oh. And he's like, the dude's outside. He's waiting. And he's like, the girl's in my room. He's
This
like, in my
person-
transformer sheets.
Is this person?
Like his pores.
Optimus Prime is on this
Is he
prostitute.
smart or is he fearless dumb?
No, he's smart.
Okay.
He's narrowing it down.
But he's horny.
Only two can do it.
Yeah.
Smart or fearless dumb.
Yeah, and I can't remember what he didn't have that much money, so I don't think he got the full
Yeah.
Monty.
Hey, he got her in the room.
Yeah,
I say
but
you
he did
win.
something.
How much
I
did he
remember.
pay? Was
Yeah,
it
yeah.
60, 50?
I can't remember Miami prices, whatever. It's 99 Miami prices. It wasn't that
That's what it would
expensive.
be, that
It-
expensive.
You know, you
Yeah.
are
yeah,
touching
but it
on
was like
something.
it was like between 80 and 120. It was
That's not too bad.
You're touching on something that only big city kids would have had access to.
Yeah.
Ain't no, I ain't calling no prostitute in D-land.
Or Orlando.
You know what I mean?
don't
Like
even
that
think
was not
Orlando you
a
could
that was
pull
not a
off.
thing.
Yeah, I guess nowadays with the internet, it's everywhere. It's like and I also there was I figured out another one. There was another one where I was at a bachelor party. And then, like it was the beginning where no one knew it. Like some of my friends thought bachelor parties, like you for sure would bang crazy. Like that's
Yeah,
what you do.
there are
Yeah.
a select amount of people that think you cheat on your
Yeah,
your
yeah,
mom.
yeah.
Bachelor. Yeah,
And-
those people exist.
And then, and by the way, if you ever,
They're mostly my Latin friends with the Bluetooth in their ear.
yeah. They go to Costa Rica. Yeah. Well, that's all my friends.
All the friends go to Costa
Guys
Rica.
will
Yeah, they
cheat
love
crazy.
Costa Rica.
The one I know went to Costa Rica. Yeah.
And by the way, that's what you do at bachelor. It's like, oh, you cheated your old lady. Your wife, you 100%
Yeah.
never not cheat.
Also, you pull your shirt up, leave the Bluetooth in. I'm serious.
Yeah,
Tony Soprano did that.
So then he so everybody got back to the hotel, and then my Latin friends were like, "Oh, what the hell?"
Yeah,
so they called some prostitute on Craigslist. I wasn't
Yeah.
in the hotel. I just heard the laugh later.
Sure.
Oh, what a time to be alive, a young white boy.
and then he said it was real bad. so it was disgusting.
Oh.
They never talk about it. Never tell anybody.
Never tell anyone that. I'm telling on the radio.
He's like, I think you had AIDS.
Oh my God! Why did I bust out laughing at that?
Yeah, we all laughed. And then we chanted, you have AIDS, and it was the whole thing.
Oh my God!
For years. And then
I mean, for him,
Like, don't
for
drink
him,
after him. He has
terrible.
AIDS.
For him, terrible. For you guys, so fun. So fun.
And then he said, you can't get AIDS with the mouth.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Why was that different
More
time?
likely to get it through the mouth
like-
sometimes.
It was like 2005.
I worked with a guy that had to get tested for that. Oh, he was sweating bullets. For 1 full week. He was dead.
Now it's fine. You can live with it. Just take
God. Just get this
one
cocktail.
pill.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
hilarious.
As long as you don't live in a foreign country right now.
Lots of prostitutes. Which it's ridiculous that it's so illegal. It seems like just open it up. It could be a huge industry.
I mean, to kind of go back to the topic of this Reddit thing, I don't think I understand. I mean, obviously, I've been with my wife for 15, 16 years now. I don't know where people are, young people are, generation. What are we at now?
Beta?
I don't know where people
the
dating
babies,
are.
man.
I don't know where they are at with how they share.
with prostitutes.
No. With how they share how open they are with their promiscuity or how much sex they've had or their sex partners or body count or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Like with me and Andrea, when we started dating, yes, you talk a little bit about it and but it wasn't like we had in-depth conversations about it. You know what I mean?
Well,
And from everything that I read as a dumb old man that still reads the news, it sounds like young people are having less sex and are having
they can't even have a
longer-
conversation with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's a good point.
because they're only texting each other and virtually.
Too busy swiping.
And you have such access to porno that you get it out of your system. You're not as motivated as you used to be. Although, we had access to porno in the late 90s,
I don't
early
like
2000s.
the term porno.
And everybody was motivated to still have sex.
Still,
There
yeah.
isn't-
It's not the same.
It isn't the same. And then going back to this guy, what was the reason why he gave her $1,000 after?
Guilt.
But he knows that she's a sex worker and that's what her job is.
It's
like
I mean, yes. Understanding that this could have been a fake post,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
going along
Real.
with us believing it
Yeah.
is real, I think have you ever done something where you did it, you wanted to do it, but you felt bad, and so I almost feel like he felt like giving the money got the filth of the act off of him.
I did feel like that when I had sex with that prostitute with AIDS. I should have said it. Oh, God.
You just wanted to give her all your money.
And also for the guy, when you lose your virginity as a man, you could just say, nah, I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's
I think
not,
good.
it doesn't, it's like what changed? Nothing
Nothing.
changed.
No.
It's all mental. So you could just it doesn't count. I mean, I know in Miami there used to be a thing in the 90s about don't
talk about it. Don't talk
The
about
number
it.
2 didn't count.
It always counts. I feel like it counts 3 points. That's behind the line.
Yeah. That's
You
way
go number 2. That's
Yeah.
3 points.
harsher.
Yeah.
It's more intimate than
Yeah,
anything else.
100%.
And then going back to the guy and the getting a prostitute because you couldn't get
It's
anything
just not
else.
something I would share. You know what I mean? Like when I'm starting a relationship, if a woman did, even if Andrea had asked me like, hey, I know this is a hard question, but I do want to know like, hey, would you mind getting tested? Right? Let's say she asked that. That's a reasonable request. I would be like, yeah, no problem. I wouldn't give her the like, oh, I'm offended, but it isn't something like talking about the prostitute I slept with does not come to mind as something I ever need to tell anyone about.
Yeah.
That's between
Well, how do you
me
bring
and
that
the
up?
prostitute.
Yeah. Do you go, okay, how many partners have you been with? Have you ever been with a prostitute? Is that
Well,
your
did you have
line
this
of question?
conversation with your wife?
No.
Did you have this conversation with your wife?
No, I knew.
I didn't have this really.
I was in high school.
No, but my point is, none of the 3 of us have done this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is it not a thing?
I think
too
it's
young.
person to person. Some people care about it. Some people don't.
I think I was too young for my wife to ask that question.
Yeah,
If she meant when I was older, I think I could maybe expect it then.
Yeah. We have we've been married for too long with the same
what I'm
ladies.
saying.
I was
I
like, we have
know.
no
See, I
experience.
met my
or
wife
nothing.
when I was 18 or
yeah,
17,
yeah,
18.
You're a
so,
kid like
yeah.
me.
But I had other women before her.
You know, speaking of this could be fake, right? I didn't realize, like, I came across some TikTok videos of people, and now they're making this content where they, like...
Watch me go to Walmart.
No, they
I hate that voice. As soon as I hear it, I'm going to smash my phone.
They will get in, like, Facebook groups or whatever, like, in, like, you know, private Facebook groups. Let's say, like, and this guy, if I remember the video correctly, like, he got into a community Facebook group in some city in Wisconsin, right?
Okay.
Like this guy from California or whatever.
Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Yeah. And then it's like the local, like the neighbors group of this particular thing.
Like next door.
And he runs amok.
And then he starts making ridiculous posts about, like, he said that he's like, I've been working with the city. I got this idea to, instead of like sweeping the snow, we're going to paint lines on top of the snow. And then, you know,
what comedian that moved away?
Joe Sensabella used to do this.
No, the other
EPS.
one, lady, good friends with Big Tim.
Oh,
Heather Shaw. Heather Shaw does this. She goes in there and then she'll post
and she just
the
causes
videos.
havoc, and then and then she pieces out.
It's all positive. It's nothing like they're not fighting or whatever. They're just saying ridiculous
Dumb
things.
ideas.
And then people are getting mad. They're like, "What the hell? This is a waste of money. Why?" And then they would just be all positive the whole time. And then they'll share their back and forth and use it as their content.
Yes.
So if they're doing that, then millions of people around the internet are just doing this just to F around.
You're right.
Yeah,
This is fake.
No, but it could be real though. But it's mixed in with the real and
There
fake.
is real and fake all over the place.
Like because
That's
this
the problem.
100% could be real.
It seemed like it. Yeah, the spellings. If it wasn't the guy's typing, he went to an extraordinary effort to type as a person.
The thing that makes me think it's fake, though, is he says English is not his first language. That right there is usually a red flag because it tries to protect him from saying something that's not right.
Okay, I got you.
I usually think that's fake. Usually when it's like English is my second language.
But because of all this, we're like, could be fake, could be real. It does that we're moving towards dead internet theory of like, there's so
real.
much.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Everything's bots.
Well, you'd have to see it,
And
right?
then-
It'd have to be an actual human doing it or something, and then you'd be like, okay, I believe that.
Yeah.
Which just brings us back to no
Plus
internet.
AI is getting so good.
Yeah,
We're not going to know.
So I never thought about getting into a group and effing around just for my own enjoyment.
Yeah.
But it's
That just reminds me. Okay, when me and Danielle first started dating, she went to Philadelphia for her school, and I was still here in Orlando. And we used to get in chat rooms because we didn't want to waste our money, and we would be in the chat room, and we would just talk to each other that way. But there would be other people in the chat room.
How many times
And
have
they
you
would
been
just-
typed off? I bet a lot.
2 or 3.
I bet it. Yeah, that's an honest answer. I appreciate that.
That's the truth.
I
Yeah.
appreciate an honest man. This man's an
But there
honest
would be
man.
people there that would just start crap with us and just try to like ruin the whole conversation.
I can't read fast enough for that. To be typed on. When Crystal shows me a meme, I'm like, and then she's like,
Yeah,
"You're
you just-
this
you didn't
long?"
read this
You need
yet?
your glasses.
Okay, have you ever faked reading the whole thing and laughed?
Oh, he does
you
that for
think
me
you
all the
were-
time.
No,
He
yes.
does that with me
That's why I was like, I
all
want
the
to see
time.
the
I
real
stopped
answer.
showing him stuff now because I got tired of the fake laugh.
Because I
I'm
don't want
like,
to be embarrassed
fine.
how
I was like,
short,
fine,
slow
I'll just
I
have him
read.
fake laugh at me on the show.
What's never that funny? And I feel the pressure of you wanting me to think it's funny, so I'm just giving you what you want.
We got to get out of here.
All right.
Anything to plug or?
No, I think that's it.
My wife's Mycon. Come see me at Marvel Rivals on Twitch.
There you
I
go.
play EJ_Chungus.
There you go. EJ_Chungus.
Also, subscribe to become a BDM. We're doing our BDM Appreciation Week.
Yeah, man. Lots of
In
great
April.
stuff. A lot of cool stuff we'll be sending out. Just go to tomandan.com/registration.
Yep, it's from $1.95 to $10.95, and you just pick your price, and you can be a part of the BDM group.
Indeed. See you soon.
Yep.